Oh
You
my
know,
God, look at this guy in the chat. Holy.
I'm not a I'm not a big fan of you, but I'm not a big fan of you. You know what I mean? Like, I like what you do. I like what you stand for,
I appreciate that. Well, thank you.
and
Even if we disagree, I don't mind you. I don't mind you watching.
yeah, it's just not. I don't look at people differently because we have different outputs on what.
Sure, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
So,
All right. Well, hey, then I guess we'll just leave it there. I appreciate you coming up and chatting for a minute.
yeah, no
All right.
problem.
Yeah. Thanks, Logan. Have a good one. All right.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks, man. That's a first for me. I've never had anybody say that they are not a big fan, but not a big fan. Harley, thanks for the $20 saying, I love you. Harley, I love you back. I hope you know that. That's incredibly kind. Thank you for the $20 right off the bat, man. I appreciate you, Harley. W's for Harley in the chat. Ali, thanks for the $1. Still recovering from the Twitter space last night. I mean, what a travesty. Sending you so much love, though. What a travesty. I mean, what an utter disaster. Emily, thanks for the 1 cent. How you feeling after last night? You did amazing. We're so proud of you. Yeah, last night was fun. Like, I always love those debates where it's like 1v10 and I'm like the one. Because it just like Laura Loomer knows nothing. Nick Fuentes knows nothing. That other guy that I don't know how long people were there for, but this dude from like the Daily Wire came in. He knows nothing. It's like none of these people are impressive. So it's kind of always fun to just, it's always kind of fun to debate them in like a 8-on-1 because it just shows you that. Carlito, thanks for the $1, my man. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming in early. Means a lot you being here. What's up, man? You Maga? I don't know if this guy's not here. Where can we watch it? It was on this account, Adrian something. It's like the guy that people think is Elon Musk. So can this guy Super Maga in the chat request up? I can't invite him for some reason. He doesn't have live access, but he keeps saying liar in the chat, but he's misspelling the word liar. He's spelling it with an E and not an A. So I'd love for him to come up and impart his wisdom on all of us. Jeez Louise, bro. Let's get this guy up here spamming Maga. Hello?
Yo, what's up?
What's up, man? How old are you?
I'm 20. I'm about to turn 21 like in 2 days.
Good looks, man. Why'd you vote for Donald Trump?
I voted for him. It was my first time voting. And my parents also voted for him. My sister did too. I don't know. I liked his policies on immigration. I'm an immigrant myself. I was born in Dominican Republic. And we were actually able to do it because my mom worked for the American Embassy. And so we were able to get like a green card. She was able to get one. And I just think people should do it the right way. And I don't like what...
Wait, hold on. Do you see that you had like an expedited process or, you know, a better ability to get a green card and do it the legal way than some people?
Yeah. We were definitely lucky with that.
Okay, so why would you then vote for Donald Trump? Why wouldn't you vote for Kamala Harris, who was very much in favor of only legal immigration? She was very much against illegal immigration, but she wanted expanded access to legal immigration so people came in and did it the right way. Whereas Donald Trump not only is opposed to illegal immigration, but also want to make it harder for people to come in legally.
No, I saw some that said that Trump wanted to make it easier for people to come here legally.
Well, Donald Trump, during his first term, reduced the amount of green cards and work permits we give out every single year, making it substantially harder. Now, Donald Trump has come around on an issue, specifically H-1B visas, but that only applies to like 80,000 people per year. That's not
H-1B visas. Is that like the asylum? Is that what that is?
No, it's different from asylum. This is for high skilled workers to come into the United States and work for a temporary amount of time. So, but like when it comes to just like expanding work permits and green cards, Donald Trump has a very bad record on that. So for folks like yourself who have benefited from things like green cards, I don't understand why you and your family would not then vote for Kamala Harris, who wanted to expand that program.
Also, we're like abortion and stuff. We're conservatives, so we believe in that too. I mean, we believe in we're very much pro-life.
Pro-life? Why? Yeah. I mean, that's silly. Why?
Just because of our Christian values.
Well, I mean, why does that mean you'd be pro-life then? Why can't that mean that you for yourself wouldn't want your partner to get an abortion, or you wouldn't want whoever you're with to get an abortion. But why did that mean that we'd have to have that be the policy, the law of the land, and force everybody to follow?
I definitely I see the other side's point of view, because like why should I have control over what you do with your own body? But the way I see it, the way I was raised, is that I believe that God created you and he knew you before you were even born. That's just because, like, that's just what I was like. That's just I truly believe that if
no, I understand that. Like, I'm personally not religious. Like, you can believe that if you so choose. But my point to you is that, like, why can't you just believe that and have that be the philosophy for you, and have like a woman in California who you don't know still have access to an abortion because she disagrees with your worldview?
I don't know. I'm not like super smart about it, you know.
No, you're good, man. I just think that, like, you can be pro-life, but the entire point of being pro-choice is that if you want to be pro-life for yourself, like, you can do that. Like, if you're pro-life for yourself, that's fine. Like, it's not my life. It's you. You get to make whatever decision you want. But that logic applies to women as well, who are, you know, pro-choice and want to terminate their pregnancy if they so choose. I just think that people should have the option. Like, I don't want to outlaw your view, but I don't want you to be able to outlaw my view as well. That's all.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I guess it's just something I got to do more research on.
Yeah, no, I respect that. If you got to look into it a little bit more. Well, hey, if you want to talk about anything else, I'm happy to do so. If not, we can leave it there.
Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good.
All right, man. Hey, happy early birthday. Enjoy it, all right?
All right. Thank you, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
You too.
21. It's a big birthday. I'm talking as if I wasn't 21 like a year ago. Like less than. Ali, thanks for the $1. Nick Fuentes, Laura Loomer, Kimberly Klasick, Owen Schroyer. What a panel, but you made it slightly more tolerable. Those people have no idea what they're talking about. I mean, it was painful to talk to these people on that Twitter space. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, link in the bio if you want to support the live. We do them all the time. But yeah, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I'll bring you up and you can tell me why. Why are you MAGA? Why would you do that? It's so strange. It's so peculiar. How is anybody still MAGA? It just fucking makes no sense, dude. Let's bring up Snake. Or I sent him an invite. I don't know if he wants to come up. Okay, let's bring up this guy who his bio says God, family, country. Optimist. And you voted for Donald Trump. That's peculiar. I'm feeling that word tonight. All right, why'd you vote for Donald Trump, man?
Well, where would you? I'm confused. What word are you peculiar with?
I was saying that your bio says optimist in it, which I think is interesting given the fact that you voted for Donald Trump.
Indeed. So what's the relevance to that?
Because Donald Trump spoke very poorly about the country and its prospects and how it was doing under Joe Biden, when in reality, a lot of what he was saying was lies. So it's just like, when you're saying that America sucks and like we're the trash can of the world, that doesn't sound very optimistic to me. But anyway, it's not a main point I wanted to make. I just saw it in your bio. I found that interesting. So why did you vote for Donald Trump?
Well, because I'm a father of three. I have seen both when Trump was in office, and it was great. And then the first year of Biden's was staggering okay. But after that, it was just downfall from there. I mean, don't get me wrong. There was a lot of jobs being created, but it wasn't by the government. It wasn't by Biden's Build Back Better. It was by Fortune 500 companies. It was built by Walmart's. It was built by Amazon's. Many of them are going up. I work for a multi-billion-dollar company, and we're above 160% in sales from last year. So I don't.
So things are getting better under Joe Biden?
No, absolutely. At first, like I said, the first year it was. But it has nothing to do with what the government's been doing. What the government's been doing is pouring out money to people that do not need it, except here. They'll give Ukraine $1 billion. They'll give illegals $1 billion to do whatever. But people that actually need the money, like people in North Carolina, people in West Tennessee, people that were affected by hurricanes, this, that, and the third, where was the money for them besides $750? Like, you are a very big talking point on TikTok, and you only bashed Trump, but you
This is
will
like
never.
such a depressing like rant.
What do you mean?
So you can stop talking. You
You've
can
never
stop.
in your life.
You can stop
I've been
talking
watching
now.
you for almost like 3 years. You've never once.
I understand.
You've never
But you can
once.
stop talking now because you're not making a point relevant to the argument anymore. You're just like, coming
Okay,
after
so here's
me.
my point. You have never once since you've been on this platform.
So you're still going to make the point? Okay, I'll let you do it, and then I'll respond. That's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. You've never once said nothing negative about Joe Biden. You've always been positive, but I'm confused. Like even with Kamala running, you
Kamala.
It doesn't matter how you say her name. We all been saying it the same way.
Yes, it
No,
does.
it doesn't. But anyway,
Yes, it does.
you've
It's
been
just like
saying
basic
you were
respect. It's just basic respect.
What respect for what? Everyone
Just
knows.
like basic
everyone
respect for
calling
her as a human
names. Who
being.
cares?
Just basic respect for her as a human being.
Anyway, so
She's also your like vice president right now, so just have a little bit of respect.
you
you can call her Harris. You can call her Harris.
Not
if you
really.
want.
But anyway,
she is
so
your vice president. You can call her Harris if you want.
You were quick to jump ship off of Biden and run with Kamala, but you weren't able
Kamala.
to. Anyway, I don't care, Harry. Like you're just
Okay, so are you done Are you done talking yet? Or are you
So
still like?
why did you jump from Biden to
Okay, so
Kamala
you just have
so fast?
You have so many points you want me to address. So
All right, go
first
ahead.
of
I'll
all,
wait. I'll be quiet now. Go ahead.
okay, thank God. I mean, the less from you, the better. So first of all, I didn't jump ship from Joe Biden. I don't think you understand that when I support Joe Biden, I support the entirety of his administration. Kamala Harris is part of his administration. So if he decides to step down and is not running in a race anymore, but somebody from his administration, the second person in line to the presidency, decides to say, hey, I'm going to run for president, I support that person because they've been involved in all of the policy that has been passed, that has been signed into law that I support. This is not rocket science, right? And like, are you saying that like millions of Americans just ditched Biden? No, we have policies. This person represents policies. We don't have a cult of personality to a person like you do in the Republican Party. We value policies. We value records. We value what somebody's gotten done. Number one. Number two. No. You said you would stop talking now, so I'm going to hold you to that. Please stop talking. Number two, you brought up funding for, FEMA and stuff like that. And hearing you speak is actually so depressing for people that know what they're talking about. It's so depressing because it's so much misinformation. Number one, North Carolina got all of the funding that they requested. The governor of North Carolina said that President Biden approved every single request that they have. The governor of South Carolina said the same thing. The governor of Tennessee said the same thing. By the way, two of those three are Republicans. They all said that President Biden approved their requests immediately upon sending them. So North Carolina got the aid that they needed. And that $750 you're talking about is the legal maximum. It's for emergency supplies, right? So that $750 is one program for emergency needs like food, water, shelter, transportation. However, there are other FEMA programs that people can apply to. That $750 is not the only thing, and it's the maximum. So Joe Biden couldn't even send more in emergency funding for basic needs if he wanted to. It'd be against the law. That's just not. And also, by the way, a lot of people in North Carolina, specifically in more of these rural areas that support Donald Trump, didn't get the aid that they needed because Donald Trump lied to them and said that they couldn't get any aid, that there's nothing to apply for. So they didn't. They didn't, right? Along with other misinformation you spread. I can't even remember the other things you said. Oh yeah. Let's go all the way back. First of all, you said that your company has 160% sales over last year. That means your company is doing significantly better wherever you work than it was last year. You know who's president right now? Joe Biden. Also, you said the economy was great under Donald Trump. It was just so fantastic. What did Donald Trump do to make the economy great?
Oh, I don't know if I can speak now because,
It's typically how conversations go. When I pause, you can speak.
So are you saying the whole time that while Donald Trump was in office that nothing was great? Nothing money-wise was great?
I asked you a simple question. What did you're saying the economy was so great. What did Donald Trump do to make the economy great?
Well, I can't really tell you definitively, but I do know in the city and where I work at, all the HBCUs benefited 1,000,000%. A lot of why did you have it? Why did you do that? Why'd you sigh? I'm
because
lying.
Joe Biden.
Are you saying
Donald
I'm
Trump,
lying, bro?
Donald Trump?
No. Are you saying that I'm lying? Because I can actually prove that actually is true. I can prove that.
Well, actually, no. Here, I'm not saying that you're lying.
No.
I'm
You
saying,
signed, so why'd you sign?
Do you want me to respond or not? Do you just like hearing yourself speak? Do you want me to respond or not?
No, because you're rude. That right there was rude. Like you signed when I
I'm sorry. You just accused me of like jumping ship on Joe Biden and you spread a bunch of misinformation.
You're a jumper, bro.
I don't have a lot of respect for people who just don't know what they're talking about or like they pretend to know what they're talking about.
Any
so let me explain something to you really quickly.
Had was actually considered the same thing that Trump did. Okay, no tax on tips.
Let me just explain to you something really quickly about HBCUs. Donald Trump sent $1 billion to HBCUs over 4 years, $250 million every year, right? He expanded his program that was already existent under President Obama. You know how much Joe Biden sent to HBCUs in 4 years?
No, you just lied. That actually is a lie. That's a misinformation.
Well,
Obama never
the word
did
misinformation, that'd be great.
nothing for the HBCUs or the black community, bro. Nothing. He barely did anything over $1 billion. You're talking about, dude. You're
Wait,
insane.
who are you talking about?
Obama did nothing.
Yeah, no, the program that Donald Trump extended for HBCUs, the $250 million a year, was a program that existed under
Because
Obama.
they weren't getting that for money. Look back on it, bro. Read it.
No, they were getting a bunch of money.
Okay,
Donald
you
Trump actually
get all your bullshit fucking evidence and everything for your
they actually yeah, that's
So
great.
go ahead
I mean,
and just
see,
read
again,
it.
you're just spreading misinformation. It's fine.
No, I'm not.
But
bro.
also, for your information, if you care so much about HBCUs,
So read it.
hold on, be quiet. If you care so much about HBCUs, Joe Biden sent $16 billion to HBCUs over his 4 years.
No, yes.
Really? I have a statement from the White House I can pull up right now for you if you'd like.
If he has, then explain this to me. The HBCUs dorms and all that. All those dorms that I literally have been to, they're roach infested. They're messed up.
Why are you going to HBCU dorms?
What do you mean?
Why are you doing that? What do you mean you've been to HBCU dorms? What do you mean by that?
Like, I have coworkers that work that literally work for the company in which I work for. So if they need a ride, I go knock on their door. If they don't answer their phone, if I mean, dude, if you've never
Look here, I'm showing you something. This is a White House statement. This was from May 16, 2024. Biden-Harris administration announces record over $16 billion in support for historically black colleges.
Where's the money going?
To all of these different HBCUs. It's going to these universities. And if you're saying that, like, if you're saying you witnessed like bad dorms, then perhaps funding is coming for those specific dorms. But a lot of this funding is specifically for improving education.
No,
but you just don't know this. You don't know this. You rely on misinformation from Donald Trump. And by the way, who's paying me?
I don't rely on any misinformation.
Yes, you do. Who's paying me? Who's paying me?
Okay, my dude. Again, I've watched you for 3 years.
Who's paying me?
Okay, come on. Are you really gonna lie? You guys almost lost y'all's contracts. You, Chris Park, and all y'all from Pallet Media. Come on now. Let's not.
You almost lost what contract?
Sarah censored the old millennial.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I've already exposed that, bro. It's all over Twitter too. And the thing is,
wait.
You try to say that you don't do this, that, and the third.
So what's your evidence? What's your evidence? What's your evidence?
Twitter. What are you talking about? We're talking about.
Did you just say Twitter is your evidence?
Yeah. You're going to say that.
God, this is so embarrassing. Do you have any actual evidence that you can present right now that I've been paid to like be here?
There's misinformation on Twitter.
Can you? I'm asking you a simple question. Can you provide any evidence right now that I've been paid by anybody to be here?
Yeah, I can actually.
Okay, go do it.
You want to go down that road?
Yes.
You really want to go down that road, Harry?
I'll bet you how much money, whatever you name a number. I'll bet you whatever number you name that you can't find a payment from the DNC to me.
At first, I didn't believe it because it was just word of mouth. But if you actually go to like Sarah Censored or the Only Millennial, all their old videos that I have downloaded, it shows
this is like utter shit. I'm asking you a simple question. I'm asking you a simple question. I'm asking you simple. Just listen. Just listen to me. Just listen. Just stop talking. Nobody needs to. I promise nobody wants to hear you speak right now. I promise nobody wants to hear you speak. Now listen to me very carefully. I will bet you whatever amount of money you want to bet that you cannot find me a payment from the DNC to me. You cannot find it.
I never once mentioned the DNC.
Okay, then who's paying me?
Dude, the thing is, you just said something I never even quoted or even said. So why?
But then who are you insinuating is paying me? Because then if it's not the DNC, then what big scary gross figure is paying me?
You know what's so funny about you, Harry? Again, this is the funny thing. This is the second time I've ever been on your live. The first time I commended you because you do spread some good things and you actually do good things. But here's the thing: you're constantly begging for money while you're on here, and then while people are talking or debating you.
Wait, I'm sorry. Like bringing attention to like a Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal is begging for money.
That's begging. That's real talk.
I mean, I don't think so. I think that's just saying like, hey, if you want to support the live. By the way, there's like literally no pressure to do that for you watching at home. Not for this guy's. Whatever.
Hey, bro. Hey, listen. If any company, I don't care what company it was, bro. was paying me to trash any politician every single day and just gain viewers from that, I wouldn't care. But at least I wouldn't.
I'm asking you a simple question. Here's where your argument utterly collapses. I ask you, who's paying me? You can't name an entity, a person, a group, or anything like that. Okay, then what group, what organization is paying me? And what's your evidence that they are?
Bro, it's been proven already. Millions of times.
You keep saying it's been proven. If I come up here and say that the Loch Ness Monster exists and it's been proven, that doesn't change anything, right? What's your evidence, or who's the group that's paying me?
You know about Nessie? You're young as hell. How do you know about? Wow, that's it's baffling.
What?
Anyway, so like I was saying, palette media or palette management, it doesn't matter which.
Okay, so what's your evidence that they paid me from like the DNC or like any Democratic money to do this?
They're censored.
You keep saying, by the way, you keep citing someone who's been like community noted over and over and over again on Twitter, who spreads their own amount of misinformation. Like, you can't. Hold on. Be quiet. No. Shut up.
No, I'm not gonna shut up.
Okay, then I'll mute you. Then I'll force you to be quiet. That's fine, right? You keep citing one person. You keep saying, go on Twitter, go on this. Who's paying me? What's the evidence? I'm just asking for a simple question. If the burden of proof is on you, you're making a claim. So who is paying me to be here?
I already stated it twice to you.
Who? Okay, so who?
I stated it twice to you.
So who is it? Say it again for the record.
For the record? Mm-hmm. I stated it twice for the record.
Okay, so say it a third time for the record. Numbnuts.
No, I don't have to state it for the record again.
Okay, so I mean, this is how conversations work, right? Like, I don't know if you're familiar with debate, but like, if you're arguing something, you typically have to like back it up. And so far, you're just saying that this mystical figure has been paying me, and this person on Twitter proved it. It's like there's not much evidence for that. By the way, I'm just curious, like where the evidence is. I'm waiting.
Would you in a conversation in reality, if we were face to face, would you disrespect me by Harry? Yes. Stop, please stop.
I don't have any respect for people like you. I'm sorry. So like whether it's virtually or whether I meet you in person, like I would call you numbnuts to your face, because the way that you act in this thank you KBC for the Galaxy. The way you're acting right now is like, I mean, you're probably like 30, 40, 50, however old you are. You're like a grown ass man, and you can't even like engage in a conversation in good faith. And I think that if you're that age, you're like a grown ass adult, and you can't engage in a conversation in good faith. And I think that's embarrassing.
So you're saying that it's okay for you to call someone a name, but that's okay, right? Yeah. No, I am a grown man, and grown men that say something to another grown man, like out of pocket, they get dealt with. And that's being honest with you. And
it's so boring. Listen to people like you speak saying, oh, this or that. It's because you can't hang in a conversation. You can't hang in a conversation. So you say some goofy ass shit like, oh, people who say things like that get dealt with. Dude, you're not a mob boss in The Sopranos. You're some random guy online who's trying to push a conspiracy theory with no goddamn evidence. It's like, just understand who you are.
First of all, don't use God's name in vain. Second of all,
sorry. Wait, hold on. Just a moment ago, just a moment ago, you were saying that it doesn't matter about mispronouncing Kamala Harris's name. No. Shut up now. No, be quiet. Because just a moment ago, when I corrected you on Kamala Harris's name, you said, "Oh, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter." So when you tell me not to use God's name in vain as somebody who's not religious, oh, it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter.
But like you said, you would never talk that way outside the internet. I guarantee. I can put my life on the line for that.
You don't know anything, buddy. You don't know anything.
Yes, I do, because you've been called up by Bryce and many other people.
By the way, I've been asking you a number of times just to provide evidence for your claim. You can't do it. Then do it. Then do it. Then do it.
Then do it. I have to make a video.
Ellen, thanks for together. No, I don't want to see any video. I don't want you to hop off this live and make a video. I want you to prove it to us right here, right now. We're live in front of 3,900 people. Do it right here, right now.
It's also on Twitter, and you got mad because I said it was on an actual platform you can trust.
You're citing a social media platform. If I say that you're paid by the Republican Party to be here, and I cite Facebook as the evidence, are you going to be like, oh yeah, that's acceptable? No, you'd say, what the fuck is wrong with you?
You know what? I used to real talk respect you, but
I don't care. I don't want the respect of people like you. I will sleep. Hold on. Hold on. I couldn't care. I don't care. I will sleep just fine at night if you don't respect me, because I do not respect you. If you're coming up here and saying crap like this, if you're coming up here and pushing conspiracy theories, I do not respect you. I do not respect you even a little bit. Respect is not just given, it's earned. And you have failed to earn it a number of times, I guess, in these conversations that we've had, because apparently I've talked to you before. So Like you saying this, you saying, "Oh, I don't respect you anymore," means fucking nothing. It means nothing. Nobody cares. Save your breath. Save your breath. So do you have anything meaningful to say? Anything of substance?
The last time you and I talked before today, it was all love. There was no hatred.
Hey, buddy. Fuck out of here with that. If you're coming up here and saying like, "Oh, I'm paid," "Oh, it's this," or "It's that," or like you're questioning no. If you're coming up in here and saying shit like that, and then you fail to back it up, number one, which even if you try to back it up, it's going to go badly. But if you come up here and do something like that, I don't care about the last conversation we had. The last conversation we had, we could have ended it by saying, "Yo, I appreciate you so much. I respect you." It doesn't matter. You've come up here and done this charade now. And now I have no interest in speaking to you ever again after this conversation. And tonight when I go to bed, when I'm sleeping in bed and I'm all warm and I just have a glass of water near me and I take some melatonin, you will not be on my mind. And the fact that you like don't respect me and we had a conversation which apparently was all love before will not cross my mind once after this conversation. So save your breath. Save it.
Okay.
So do you have anything of substance to say or not?
Oh, I did, and then you crossed the line, but that's okay though.
Cross the line, motherfucker! You come up here questioning my legitimacy. You talk about crossing a line. I'm sorry it was given back to you. Thank you for the galaxy. I appreciate you. No. If you hold on, grown ass man, you don't get. You know this. You know this all too well. If you give it out, you can't not expect it back. I gave it back to you.
Talking about it. Improve it.
Hey, buddy. Do me a favor. Get out of here. Have a good rest of your night. All right. You be all right now. Have a good rest of your night. You be all right. Get on out of here. And I know you're still watching. Don't come back here, dude. Don't come back here. I don't need to talk to you ever again. Yo, Miranda, thanks for the $1 saying, "Look at my Insta DM. Can you give me your username so I can find it?" Just to be specific, you know what I'm talking about. Sean, thanks for the $1 for the pressure. I appreciate you. Jennifer, thanks for the $25. This is because Matters, the weirdo, is not going to discourage people like me from supporting good content. This guest was super jealous and uneducated. Keep it up, my friend. I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Jennifer. You're always here supporting the live. It means the world to me. Thank you. I appreciate you a million times over. W for Jennifer. Lorenzo, thanks for the $10. Love what you're doing, Harry. Proud of you from a Vietnam veteran. Can we get some W's for Lorenzo in the chat? A veteran and $10 for my man. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for being here. That's incredibly kind. W for Lorenzo in the chat. Man, that's a good guy right there. I appreciate you. Courtney, thanks for the $1. I don't want to know what this guy is doing in dorm rooms. I'm saying. Allie, thanks for the $1. One more dollar because you are begging for money. I appreciate you, Allie. Hannah, thanks for the $1 from the DNC. Thanks, guys, for reminding me. Trisha, thanks for this $2 as well. My 23rd birthday is January 6th. That's okay. You know, make it a positive one. Abby, thanks for the $1. Don't read out loud. Ain't that the case? Ain't that the truth? Banana, thanks for the $1. You killed it on the X page. I'm so proud of you. All those people were idiots. It's gotten worse when you left. Thanks for defending sanity. The team was rooting for you as well. It's freaking out. I appreciate all you guys. Thank you. Haley, thanks for the $1.11. I love your energy tonight. This is my favorite show. Yeah, I have no patience for people like that. Tatiana, thanks for the $1. Here you go. I appreciate you. Ari, thanks for the $5. Matters literally has a video about his Cash App. Oh wow, would you look at how that worked out? Ain't that funny? Monica, thanks for the 10 cents on PayPal. Or excuse me. Yeah. Seeing the Twitter debate from yesterday was interesting. Would love to see another 1v10 debate again. I would love to do one again. Megan, thanks for the 30 cents as well on PayPal. Stop begging me. This is all I have. I appreciate you. Venmo, Cash App, and PayPal, and the link in the bio if you want to support the live. Also, let me know if you're MAGA in the chat. I'll bring you up and we can talk and you can tell me why you're MAGA. Does it sound good? Sound good to you guys? Sounds good to me. Let me know why let me know if you're MAGA in the chat. I'll get you up here. Josh says he's MAGA. Let's get him up here, man.
Du Hurensohn, Heil Hitler, rape Jews, rape children, suicide.
I don't even know what the hell that guy was saying. What's going on, man? The Republican Project, man, I hope you're here. Are you here? Why do you leave? Ugh, terrible. Anyway, moving forward. If you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. Okay, let's bring up this guy. Wow, his profile picture is our terrific Vice President Harris.
What's up?
Hello, are you MAGA?
I am. What's going on?
How old are you?
29.
You vote for Donald Trump?
I voted for Don, 3-time Don voter.
What an embarrassment. I mean, that's just,
Come
you shouldn't reveal that in public. Shouldn't reveal that.
What? I'm not even in public. Just
No,
hanging
I'm
out with
saying,
you.
like, if you were hypothetically in public, you shouldn't tell people. It's embarrassing. So why'd you do that?
Really?
Yes. Why'd you do that?
Come on.
Why'd you do that?
I think it was the right choice.
Okay. Why was it the right choice? Why do you think that?
He focuses on issues that are important to people.
Like what?
Do you want me to give you the standard ones that you've heard a million
Yeah,
times
I
today?
mean, like, what are his policies? Like, why is he better on these issues that you're referencing?
Yeah, he puts an emphasis on the border, right? Is that a good
Okay.
thing? It's a good thing.
Emphasis how? Like, what are his policies for immigration to make it better?
I don't know. His numbers were better than Joe's. That's all I can look at.
So, okay. So you just look at numbers. You don't care about anything else. You don't care about the reasons for these numbers or anything like that?
I mean,
you just say,
if you're
oh,
gonna
these
bring up
numbers.
20, sure. If you're going to bring up 2020, then like, yeah, there's different reasons for that, right? But like, if you look at 17 through 19, his numbers are better than Joe's, especially in his early years. This year's better.
Okay, so wait, I'm
I'll-
just out of
admittedly,
curiosity. Do you not think that what happened in 20 might have an impact on 21, 22, and 23?
Like what?
I'm just saying, can you like ponder or think about any potential impact of that?
Right. Repeat the question. Sorry.
So you're saying that like, yeah, 20, there was a major global pandemic.
Yeah.
And obviously we can't factor in 20 to the equation, but I'm asking you, don't you think that what happened in 20 might have an impact on 21, 22, and 23?
Sure. Enlighten me. How?
Yeah. So COVID like destroyed global economies. A lot of these economies in Southern American countries didn't recover as fast as the United States. So a lot of these people have lost their jobs. They are not putting food on their table at night. They are seeking economic refuge. So they're saying, hey, the United States has recovered really well. It's the strongest economy in the world, the wealthiest country in the history of time. Let's go there, try to make a life for ourselves. That was accelerated because of COVID, because COVID destroyed these folks' countries. That's why you saw an influx. And by the way, the increase in people coming to the border and just apprehensions and general encounters at the border increased and started going up under Donald Trump. That big wave that happened under Joe Biden started under Trump. He inherited it.
Hey,
And that
you know
has
the
nothing
numbers-
to do with Biden policy or Trump
The numbers aren't
policy.
even, the
It has
numbers aren't
everything to
even
do
like
with COVID.
comparable, buddy.
What was
the numbers
that?
aren't even the numbers aren't even comparable. Like
Yeah,
say
you know
they-
why?
they say they
You know why?
trended
Because
up,
there
they
was a once in
trended-
a lifetime pandemic.
I know, but they can't just. So why didn't they do shit about it? They didn't take it serious.
So they tried. Joe Biden introduced an
How?
immigration policy on day one of his
In 20
presidency called.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, if you would listen, be quiet.
Sorry.
Joe Biden introduced an immigration policy on day one of his presidency called the U.S. Citizenships Act of 2021. That was rejected by Republicans. It did a number of things, including investing more in border patrol and border security generally. Also, there was a bipartisan border bill that Democrats and Republicans, including Biden, Kamala Harris, agreed on in 2023. It would have invested more in border patrol, given the president the ability to shut down the border if it's being overwhelmed, expanding immigration courts, things like that. You know what
Gotcha.
happened to that bill?
2023
Republicans rejected it.
Sure, you had seven Democrats reject that one as well.
Yeah, because they thought it was too conservative.
Okay, I mean, like, nobody agreed on it then.
That's
What's
not
the
true. If the overwhelming majority of Democrats agree on it and the bill was partially written by a Republican senator, obviously
Okay.
people agree on this bill.
Is it written by a senator or are you talking about a Congress? You're talking about Langford, yes?
Yeah, I'm talking about Langford, Chris Murphy, Kirsten Sinema. Yeah, these are senators.
The one you brought up in 2021, you said first day of his presidency.
Yes.
You guys,
You're off the app, by the way. I can't hear you.
sorry,
You're good.
my battery.
That's fine.
Where'd you hear me? I'll just repeat my
You
question.
said the bill in 2021?
Yeah, you guys had the House. Is that correct?
Yeah, we had the House and the Senate. The thing called the filibuster exists.
So did it get past the House?
No, it didn't get past any chamber of Congress because it was dead on arrival because the filibuster exists. The Republicans were never going to let it pass, mainly because it included a pathway to citizenship for people who are already here.
Gotcha. What was your Senate lead? Do you remember that at all?
It was
In
50-50 in 2020.
It was the same exact lead in 2022?
No, in 2022, in the midterms, we expanded it. We got one more.
Okay, I gotcha.
So, yeah, so we tried to do things on the border and the Republicans blocked it. By the way, the bill that I mentioned, you probably agree with every single thing in it. Any major immigration portion, you probably agree. That bill was killed by Donald Trump. So it's just crazy to me how voters like yourself are saying, yeah, Donald Trump emphasizes the border. Yet in 2023, he kills a bill that would address this major issue to you, and then you decide to reward him with your vote.
No, I got you. I mean, I need to read the bill, right? I need to read the 2023 bill. I want to read the 2020 bill. Definitely. What is that called?
2021. The bill that Biden introduced is called the U.S. Citizenships Act of 2021. There's a White House statement on it. You can read more there.
Okay. All right, I'll read that later.
All right. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Yeah. When are you going to make a podcast? When are you going to get off this app and make a podcast? You get the core four. You four guys could make a podcast. Y'all could be bigger than the Pod Save guys.
Well, it's something we've talked about for sure. We just haven't really gotten to it. Like we would definitely do it. Chris and I had a podcast at one time. We didn't really like doing it in the format that it was in, but like if Dean and Parker wanted to do a podcast with Chris and I, we would definitely do it.
All right, last question. I'll get out of here.
All right, man.
My guy's Tim Dillon. I fucking love Tim Dillon. Is he a cool dude?
I won't comment on that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. It's not that you shouldn't interpret that as a positive or negative thing. I just won't comment on it.
How did y'all get in touch? Like, how did he reach out to you guys? Did you reach out to him?
Won't comment on it.
Damn, what the fuck?
And I do not. Again, don't interpret that as a positive or a negative thing. I'm just not commenting on it.
I have to naturally assume that's a negative.
Well, I'm telling you not to naturally assume that.
Okay. All right,
man. Anyway, I appreciate you coming up. You're welcome back if you want to chat in the future.
Have a good one.
Have a good one. By the way, the live got flagged for bullying, probably because I was mean to that guy. Bev, thanks for the $3. Make sure you clock in at Pallet. That's right. I got to clock in for my shift at the DNC. Katie, thanks for the $2 as well. My 29th birthday is January 30th. I get to celebrate the death of my youth and the death of, oh my goodness. I thought that was going to say something else. And the death of America in the same month. Thanks, Maga. It's not good. Kelly, thanks for the $1. Harry, do you still have your Common App essay or NYU supplemental that I can look at? Also, all of us in the Parker's Discord were supporting you yesterday. The X Space was horrible. Probably not if I had to guess. I can look. Rena, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Thanks for the $15. Appreciate what you do for bringing down these MAGA cultists. Appreciate you. Thank you for the $15. That's very kind. Look at this person. Wow, let's get this guy up here. I'm just curious. Tara, thanks for the much. I'm still here and enjoy your complete dog walking, all these MAGAs. Love what you stand for, Harry. Love you. I appreciate you so much, Tara. Love you. I appreciate you so much, Tara. Got you. Is it lagging now? That or wait, is it? People are saying lag, bruh. Hold on. Let me see if it's get better. Yes, you were saying it's lagging. All right, I'll restart. Because I got a flag anyway. So for everybody here, I'm going to restart the live because we got flagged for bullying and harassment anyway. So I'm going to come back, all right? I'm going to come back. I'm going to restart and then I'm going to come back, okay? All right, everybody. If you're MAGA and you want to come up, just request up immediately, and I'll. If you're first up, I'll get you up here the first. All right. I see some people in the chat in the box I want to debate. So if you're MAGA, and then we will. We better not have a part. Yeah, I'm telling you, Anna. Better. Oh, Marina. Wow. Let's get Ryan up here. This guy's been spamming non-stop in the past couple of lives. Do me a favor, since we just restarted, make sure to double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 100,000 likes super quickly. It helps boost the live. You guys put in so much amazing work on the likes last live. We had to restart, so you know the drill. So make sure to double tap the screen. Let's try to get to 100,000. When that pink bar comes up, fill it up once, twice, maybe 3 times. Also spam those shares down there. It sends the live out to more people. And also drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. Diana, thanks for the $5 as well. I appreciate you with the pizza slice emoji. Becca, thanks for the 1 cent. You said you sent me a DM. Could you give me your username? Just want to make sure I saw it. Justin, thanks for the $1. I saw it on Twitter, so it must be true. That is the logic that we are dealing with here, unfortunately. Xaviera, thanks for the $1. Sending love from the hospital. I love you. I'm so sorry to hear that you're in the hospital. I hope it gets better. Please keep me updated on that. I really hope it's hope you recover quickly. Hope you recover quickly. People are saying lag again. What in the hell are you talking about? Madeline, thanks for the $1 from the DNC. I appreciate you. And Kelsey, thank you for the $200 in, oh my God, on Cash App. I appreciate you so much. Kelsey, Kelsey in the chat, Kelsey. Please spam some W's for Kelsey in the chat for $200 on Cash App. That is so incredibly kind. W for you. Spam the chat with W's for Kelsey. I appreciate you so much. I hope you know you mean the world to me. W in the chat, at least at a minimum, 200 for her. Wow. That's terrific. That's terrific. Ryan, are you there, buddy? You're off the app. I can't hear you right now. You got to come back.
Yes, sir. I'm here.
All right. How old are you?
I'm 26.
All right. You vote for Donald Trump?
Yes.
Embarrassing.
Why is it you always make fun of people that vote for Donald Trump?
Because it's embarrassing.
Why is it embarrassing? Some people would say voting for Harris is embarrassing as well, right? But
yeah, they would say that. That's wrong.
You don't hear me making fun of you for voting for the other side, correct?
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. I'm going to make fun of you for voting for Donald Trump. Absolutely.
I guess that's because you're, I would say, a rude person.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm sorry, dude. Like, if you vote for somebody who assaults women and breaks the law and commits a bunch of business fraud, like, do you expect me to just like look at like, do you expect people who don't do that to just be like, oh, well, that's okay,
Okay, but what about all the stuff that Harris has done?
Okay,
There's been a few things that Harris has done.
Like
right?
what?
A couple things.
Like what?
What do you mean, like what?
Like what? Examples? No, you don't get to go Google now. You have to come back here.
Okay, fair enough.
Come back. Yeah, come back here. You just made a claim. So like what? Like what has Harris done that's comparable to Donald Trump breaking the law or assaulting a woman?
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So do you understand that when like people like me see people vote for people like that, that's frustrating for us, and we think that it's embarrassing that you could just like overlook that and vote for him anyway?
I guess so. I guess what you're saying, yeah.
Okay.
What else was I gonna say?
Well, that was shout out everybody coming from Diana. I don't know how she likes her name pronounced. Diana. Anyway.
Okay, change my mind then. Why I shouldn't have voted for Trump.
Okay, sure. Yeah, for all the reasons I just mentioned, but aside from that, aside from his terrible character, from a policy perspective, what was that?
Aside from that, yes, sir.
Yeah, aside from his policy, aside from that, from a policy perspective, he has none. So some of the major issues that the United States is facing today, I'd say like housing is one of them, housing costs going up dramatically. He has no policy to combat that. He has never told us once how he's going to lower the cost of a house for young people like myself and you who are looking to purchase in the next, 10 years, right? Never gave us any policy on that. Just didn't tell us. When it comes to immigration, he always talks about immigrants and the border and things like that. He never talks about the actual cause of the issue, which is asylum. It's not people walking across the border undocumented or just walking in, nothing's being done. It's people abusing the legal system. There has to be reforms there. Donald Trump has never talked about reforming that system. Instead, he just talks about stuff like a border wall and deporting people. If you deport all these people, they're going to come back. They have families here, so it makes more sense to give them a path to citizenship, but I digress. When it comes to inflation, he ran on lowering prices. He ran saying, hey, I'm going to lower your prices. I'm going to make it cheaper to go to the grocery store. He never told us how he's going to do that. Matter of fact, in an interview after getting elected, after he got your vote, he said it's going to be very hard to do that, walking back his promise when he was campaigning. He said he could get it done on day one, that as soon as he got into office, you'd start seeing things become cheaper. He is a liar. He's a manipulator. He's a con man. And he doesn't actually have any policy to help you. All he did was run for president to keep himself out of prison.
Okay, fair enough.
For the record,
Yep.
Go ahead. Sorry.
What did you think it's more ethical for immigrants to legally become a citizen of the USA than to come over illegally just because they have families here? You know what I mean?
Well,
I
ethically, I'm
understand
not
having a
sure.
family here. It's fine. I understand the love for your family. You're going to do whatever you want, like whatever you can to survive and get over to your family instead of being forced back to the country that may have a bunch of other problems like war, whatever it is, right? But wouldn't it be more ethical for them to legally do it than to just come here illegally, doing whatever.
Well, I don't know. Ethically, I think it's a different conversation than should it be done. So like ethically, it's a conversation for another day. But in terms of, is it proper? What way should be done? Yes, of course. We want legal immigration. That's what Kamala Harris was saying. 100%. We want legal immigration. We want to stop illegal immigration. But the only way you do that is through a combination of policy. So, for example, we know that when we expand legal immigration, illegal immigration goes down. And we know this because Biden expanded this program called humanitarian parole. It only applies to certain countries. And for the countries it applies to, once Biden expanded that program, illegal immigration from those countries went down 60% in a year. People are happy to utilize legal methods of immigration if it's actually there. But Donald Trump wants to come into office and limit the amount of methods for somebody to come in legally, which incentivizes illegal immigration. Yeah. So this policy that Donald Trump ran on, he has no idea what he's talking about.
Okay. Also, wasn't the housing market a lot cheaper under Trump than it is under Biden?
So it was cheaper, but that's just because inflation happens every single year. So housing costs were cheaper under Obama.
Inflation, that much inflation over a couple of years?
Yeah, well, it depends on the market. So for example, with housing has become a very inflationary market because there's a lack of supply. Yep. So inflation happens every single year, but it's important to note that, yes, of course, houses are more expensive under Biden, but they were also more expensive under Trump and more expensive under Obama, and yada, yada, yada. It goes up virtually every single year. And with Donald Trump, housing costs did go up every single year. I would argue that these costs going up under Donald Trump and Joe Biden are not the fault of either man. It's the fault of bigger issues at play, that being that there's just not enough houses. That's why Kamala Harris ran on building 3 million new houses in her first 4 years, working with developers and contractors to get this done. So they build certain homes like apartment buildings and single family homes for young professionals and couples who want to buy and work a job, right?
Did they succeed that?
No, that was what she was running on for her to be president.
Yeah, okay.
So that was her policy. She had a policy. Donald Trump didn't. He has no housing policy. And also, during the past 4 years, the Democrats in Congress tried to introduce a bill and pass a bill that would ban big companies from buying up a bunch of houses and then renting them out at higher costs. The Republicans blocked that bill. So it's like, how much? Okay. And then we gave them power. Oh my God, bro.
Okay.
Oh my God.
So I guess, yeah, okay.
So in turn, you shouldn't vote for Donald Trump. You shouldn't vote for Republicans.
I mean, what's done is done. But I mean, there's no reason for you to sit there and make fun of everyone for doing what they did, you know? That's all.
To a degree, yes, and to a degree, no.
Especially where you have a platform and all this, you know, you shouldn't be just sitting there making fun of people because of what they decided to do with their vote. And when you know what I mean, you should obviously influence them not to do that, and maybe influence them to vote for the same person you did, but I mean, take a different approach than, oh my God, I'm embarrassed to hear that you voted for Trump, and aren't you ashamed to be walking down the streets and mention that you're a Trump supporter? You know what I mean?
No.
No? Okay. Fair enough. I guess so.
I think it's like you can take the approach of okay, this person voted for them, and maybe we can convince them to vote for somebody different. I often take that approach, but man, when I just hear the stuff that some of these people, I'm not even specifically pointing at you. When I hear some of the stuff that people say on here, that's completely misinformed, and then they say some stupid shit to me. Like, I'm sorry, I'm going to make fun of them.
Yeah, no, I know, but some people like the guy before you entered the live, you literally started with, isn't it embarrassing to walk outside?
I mean, I genuinely think it is, though.
I know, but you started with that. I understand with people making fun of you, then okay, do your thing back. But to start with that's just a little, I guess, rude and disrespectful. And someone with
I think it's rude and disrespectful to vote for Donald Trump to all these groups that are going to be impacted by his policies.
Yeah, but I guess other people feel the same way with obviously who you voted for as well.
Well, those people are wrong, and I could tell them why they're wrong.
Okay. But then I guess other people can tell you why you're wrong as well. I mean, it's just back and forth type thing,
They can try.
I mean,
there's just no argument on the contrary that Kamala Harris's policies are going to hurt groups of people, whereas with Donald Trump, his policies are absolutely going to hurt a lot of people. So that's the difference.
I mean, I guess we're going to have to, no one can tell the future. I guess we're just going to have to see what happens, right?
Well, we already saw what happened when Donald Trump was president the first time. There are women who are dead today because of Donald Trump and him overturning Roe v. Wade. Those women are dead, right? So like it makes me I have little sympathy or desire to have productive conversation with certain people who voted for Donald Trump because of these very simple facts.
Okay. All right. Well, that's about it, honestly.
All right, man.
All right.
Thanks for coming up. I appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
You too. Yo, wait, hold on. Okay, yeah. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly. I'm going to try. Tibitha, thanks for the 7 cents. I appreciate you from Canada. Good to see you. Matthew, thanks for the $5. Humbling grown-ass men who play Fortnite. Love you, bro. Thanks for spreading the truth. Yo, I appreciate you, big dog. Thank you so much for being here. Ruth, thanks for the $10 on PayPal in support of the cause. Keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate you, Ruth. Thank you for being here as well. Alex, thanks for the $2. Listening to this while celebrating 6 months clean. Thank you for helping me stay sane. Love from Sweden. Hey, man, all the way from Sweden, man, all the way across the pond. That's amazing. Congratulations.
If you
Be incredibly proud of yourself, man. Seriously, that's wonderful. Good for you. Good for you. I'm rooting for you, man. Danny, thanks for the 96 cents. What was going on X yesterday? There was a whole debate and stuff like that. It was crazy. Lauren, thanks for the 97 cents. Thanks for supporting my rights as gender fluid. You do so much for my community. Lauren, I appreciate you. We fight for the rights of all people up here. You know what I mean? It's an honor to do so, and I appreciate you supporting me. And thanks for another 29 cents. And Caitlin, thanks for the $50 on PayPal. Decided to donate the $50 my Trump-loving transphobic Nana gave me for Christmas because she doesn't like Democratic debaters. Well, you tell her I said hi. You tell her I said hello, toodles, and all of the above. You tell her I said hi, Caitlin. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for the $50. That's incredibly kind. Caitlin in the chat. I really like that. I like that response. I like that response. That's a good one. It's a good one. I appreciate you. Sid, thanks for the $5. Hi, my friend Max is watching. All right, can you say hi, please? Love you, King. Max, your friend Sid is amazing. I appreciate her. All right, if you're MAGA, let me know in the chat. I'll bring you up and we can talk, and you can tell me why on earth you're MAGA, how it's possible you voted for Donald Trump. It's so peculiar. Taylor, thanks for the $2. I love Rude Harry. Wait, what? Bro. Oh, sorry. This dude's account name is Chill Guy MAGA. Brother, you gotta get a grip here.
What's up, Harry?
What's up, man? 1 second. Catherine, thanks for the $5 as well. A Donald Trump supporter preaching about respect is literally laughable. That's what I'm saying. Xavion, thanks for the $50. Remember me, Harry. Of course I do. You're always here supporting the live. Here's some money I earned from yard work this week. Hopefully you can check my DM from a while back. Don't read it out loud. Yes, I will. Oh, yes, dude. I remember. Yeah, I remember that. I literally saw the DM you sent me. And then for some reason, I just didn't check it. So I saw it on Instagram. I know what you're talking about. I will definitely get back to you. Brother, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. It means the world, man. It genuinely means the world. Mariah, thanks for the $1. Appreciate all you do. My friends and I watch every night. Wish I could send more. Mariah, you just being here means the world to me. I appreciate you. Tell your friends I said hi and thank you as well. Kylie, thanks for the $1. Harry, I continue to be inspired by you and how knowledgeable you are. It's seriously amazing. I don't know how you keep up staying so well informed on everything in politics. Also, you seriously killed it on X last night. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for your incredibly kind support. And you being here means the world. Thank you. That's so nice. And thank you for watching the mess on Twitter last night. Anyway, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App in the link in the bio if you want to support the live. Drop a follow if you haven't already. Double tap the screen. You know the drill. What's going on, man? Why'd you vote for Donald Trump?
Well, I feel most Americans are probably just sick of the way the left is heading, and I feel like Democrats are unrecognizable today compared to what they were 20 years ago, and people want change.
Oh, so you're very much in favor of the way that the Republican Party is moving. You know, like a really extreme right movement with a hate of immigrants, very nationalistic, election denying, dictatorial. Is that all appealing to you?
Well, I could say the exact same thing about what's happening right now, about the left kind of denying that Trump actually won, everything they're doing right now to not
Hold on.
certify his
Hold on. Time out.
presidency.
Kamala Harris conceded. She gave a concession speech. Every major
yeah,
Democrat
I
recognizes that
understand that,
Donald
but
Trump won the
why
election.
haven't they certified yet?
Hold on. Why haven't they certified?
Yeah,
Are you serious?
yeah, I'm very serious.
Listen to what you just said. Why haven't they certified? When does the certification of the election take place?
I'm 53 years old. I know exactly what I said.
Okay, so when does the certification of the election take place?
Well, it can take up to a month after the election or whatever, or even a little bit longer. But
No. Listen to what I'm saying. When does the certification of the election take place?
well, it could take place within 2 weeks of the election. That's the earliest, I think. I'm not 100% sure, but so I did want to touch
January
base on-
6th.
I did.
January
sorry?
6th. You know how like 4 years ago there was like a huge mob at the Capitol that raided it when all the senators and Congress people were there. You know what they were doing that day? They were
it
they were
could be
certifying the
certified
election.
before
You know
January
why
6th.
people were raiding the Capitol that day? Because they wanted to stop the certification. You know what's going to take place on January 6th? The certification of the election. You know what day it is today? Not January 6th. So when you're asking why has the election not been certified, it's not January 6th yet.
It could be certified before January 6th.
The constitutional requirement is that it's certified on January 6th.
Well, but it's
always January 6th.
That's the deadline. That's the deadline.
It's always January 6th. There's
That's
no.
the
It's not the
deadline.
No, it's not
Yes,
the
it is the
deadline.
deadline.
It is
Yes,
the,
it
it's
is.
the day.
It's exactly the deadline.
No, it's not the deadline. It's the day.
So I did want to touch base on something that you said earlier, though, too. You were talking about
I
housing.
can't believe
and
this.
this
I
and
can't
that.
believe we're just skating over the fact. Anyway.
Well,
Just point is the election. Nobody's denying the election. We, the Democrats, don't deny election results. The election will be certified. We have all acknowledged that Donald Trump won the election. We're not crybabies that are going to go raid the Capitol. We say that Donald Trump won the night of the election. That literally at like 1 a.m. that night, 2 a.m. that night, I made a video, and I'm just speaking for me personally. I made a video saying that Donald Trump won. So I don't know who you're talking about, who you're referencing, but you're wrong.
Did you say breaking news before your video? I mean,
No, that was a direct.
you made a video about a Diet Coke button like a couple weeks ago. It was like that's breaking news.
Yeah, I think Donald Trump like prioritizing a Diet Coke button over other actions. I think is pretty pathetic.
So anyway, can I get back to the housing thing where you had mentioned something about housing or whatever? But so
Yeah.
During Kamala's campaign, she had mentioned there's a housing shortage,
Yes.
and they let 20 million illegal immigrants.
Where'd you get that number?
It's right around 20 million. Okay, I don't
That's
care
not true.
I don't care what any news source tells you or whatever.
That's not true.
It's
Where did you get the number
definitely-
from?
It's definitely right around 20 million.
Where did you get the number from?
Well, they flew people in from Mexico City all the way into
not
the
true.
middle of the United States without even any kind of without anybody checking anything. No.
Yeah, that's just not true. So the program that you're referencing, like the flying in,
you always say everything's not true,
Could you,
Go ahead, I'm
by any
sorry.
chance, could you be quiet? The program that you're referencing, the flying in, is a method of legal immigration. So the people that are flying in, they have to pay for their own flight, they have to pay for their own way, and they have to have a sponsor in the United States. They're only allowed to come in and work for a couple of years, 2 to 3 years, and then they either have to apply for another additional stay through a different program, or they have to leave. So those people are not illegal. They go through verification and background checks at the border through Border Patrol, just like anybody else does that's seeking asylum. I don't know why you think this is difficult. Those people are not illegal. By the way, the 20 million number you're citing came from Donald Trump. Where did Donald Trump get that number? Nobody has any goddamn idea. It's not 20 million.
Okay, so she did say there's a housing shortage, though. So
Yes.
So if there's a housing during her campaign, she said there's a housing shortage. So why did they keep letting people in? If there's a housing shortage,
Just out of curiosity, what could they have done
Answer the
to
question.
stop
Answer
people
the
from seeking
question.
asylum? No, because your question
Answer
is
the
based off
question.
of a false premise.
There's a housing shortage in America, but they let more and more. They let millions of illegal immigrants. Okay, so
Time out.
why?
Wait, hold on.
Answer the question.
Your question's based on a false premise.
No,
You don't understand that?
Kamala said it during her campaign. There's video of her saying it. There's video of her
So
saying
that's
there's a
not
housing
what I'm
shortage.
disputing. Your question is based off of a false premise. You're saying that people were let in. Why did they just continue to let people in? Nobody was being let in. It wasn't like the administration just saying, yeah, like we understand this is a problem, but like, come on in, it's fine. The majority of people who have come in recent years are seeking asylum, right? Asylum is legal under international law and American law. There is no mechanism for the president to just be like, yeah, all asylum seekers, no.
Oh my God.
What do you mean, oh my God?
It's a fact that she said there's a housing shortage, but they kept letting illegal immigrants in. I don't understand that.
Stupidity, 10-yard penalty. It remains
Listen
first
to
down.
yourself.
It remains
Listen to
first down. It's first down stupidity on this guy's half. Get the hell out of here. Yeah, it's based off of false premise.
Yeah, you kicked me last time when you didn't want to talk about the pact for the future. We talked like 4 or 5 months ago.
I don't know what the hell that is, but I'm telling you that your question is based off of a false premise. The idea that
you don't know what the pact for the future is?
Can you just
that
can you be quiet for
Joe
5
Biden
seconds?
signed us up for?
Can you be quiet for 5 seconds? Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So yeah, your question is based off of a false premise. The idea that like the presidency just controls like asylum generally and that they can just like stop all asylum seekers from coming in is not true. Right? There's no mechanism for the president to be able to do that. So you're saying, why did all these people come in? Well, we understand that the majority of the people are asylum seekers. We understand that that's legal under international law and American law. And we also understand that the president cannot just stop that. So your answer, I think we're answering your question here slowly but surely.
Wasn't Kamala in charge of the border or no?
No.
What do you mean no?
I mean,
she was
no.
Definitely in charge. She was definitely in charge of the border.
No. She was tasked with studying the root causes of migration from triangle countries. That does not mean that she's in charge of the border.
Whitehouse.gov labeled her the border czar.
Whitehouse.gov did not label her the border czar.
Yes, they
And by
did.
the way, just for the record, let's just say hypothetically. Yeah, it's great. You should look that up, by the way. Let's just say hypothetically, the Whitehouse.gov did label her border czar, which they didn't, by the way. But just to say hypothetically, for the sake of argument, they did. It does not mean that she actually has power over the border. The vice president has no authority over the border, constitutionally speaking.
Should we not trust Whitehouse.gov then? Or?
But it didn't label her as border czar.
Yes, it did.
It did
I have
not.
a screenshot on my phone. I wish I could show you, but I'm on my phone.
Do you want me to look it up?
Yeah. It's probably
ready?
no. It's not on there anymore because I actually looked it up. Like 2 months ago.
Yeah. It was there, but it's not there anymore. And I'm sure that you didn't get that screenshot from maybe somebody that's a right winger on TikTok or Twitter. And I'm sure that screenshot that you apparently have on your phone is 100% legitimate. There's no issues with that. Of course, right? Of course, right. Yeah, you're right. The White House removed it from the official record, and there would be no documented evidence of that record. But the only documented evidence of that record is this guy's screenshot that he may or may not have gotten from right-wing TikTok or right-wing Twitter. But who's to say? Oh my God. Wow. You make me very sad when you speak. You make me very sad when you speak. Wow. Just a complete disaster. Just a complete disaster. I mean, it's painful. It's hurts society. It's hurt society. Do we break out
Homeland.house.gov, Kamala.
Homeland.house.gov.
Yes.
Riddle me this. When was that published?
Look it up.
When was it published? When was it published?
1 second.
Yep. He's gonna fall for the trap. He's gonna fall for it, guys. Don't worry. He's gonna fall for it. Wait. He's gonna fall for it. They walk right into the wall every time. When was it published?
I just told you, August 9th, 2024.
Yeah, when you're off the app, I can't hear you. Now, remind me, who controls that committee? Who was the majority party in the House at the time?
Look up what I told you. It's on a
I don't even need to read it. I don't need to read it. I already know where we're going with this. This is a house.gov publication. So who controlled the House of Representatives at the time? Just remind me.
I don't know exactly.
What do you mean you don't know? It was the Republican Party. And you know who controlled that specific committee that you're referencing? The Republican Party, right? So the thing that you're talking about, the thing that you're talking about that was written by Republicans. So that's not whitehouse.gov giving her an official label. That's Republicans saying that she had that label. And as we know, either political party just saying somebody has a label doesn't mean that they've actually been given that label. And it certainly doesn't mean that they actually have that power constitutionally.
So should we not trust the .gov websites? Like you guys always tell us to look up .gov.
Holy shit. So these .gov websites you're citing are coming from House committees.
But you guys
right? This is not an official .gov website in the sense that it's like coming from. Holy shit.
Whenever you guys have an argument, you guys tell us to look up .gov, .org.
Right. So we're saying like, cite specific agencies. So this is not like the Department of Homeland Security or the FBI or anything like that, which is an agency, right? This is a politically motivated writing, right? So these reports, these committees are controlled by members of one political party whenever, the parties switch in the House, and they are the ones writing this. Do you understand?
I do, but
okay.
I'm telling you right now, it was definitely on whitehouse.gov.
It was never on whitehouse.gov. You've been bamboozled.
100%.
You've been bamboozled.
On whitehouse.gov.
Nope. It was never on whitehouse.gov. You've been bamboozled into thinking that somehow Joe Biden gave constitutional authority to the vice president when the vice president doesn't have constitutional authority, and that somehow they controlled the border when she couldn't.
It's hilarious, dude.
It is hilarious because you guys go with the same talking points.
You guys tell us, whenever you guys have an argument, you guys tell us to look up .gov, .org, and I'm giving you a .gov website to look up, and now I'm wrong, or now we shouldn't trust .gov websites. That's what you guys tell us when you guys have an argument. I mean,
yeah, so we tell you to reference like agencies and whatnot. So if you're referencing like the Department of Homeland Security or the FBI or EPA or whatever, yeah, that's a perfectly valid source. But if you're referencing House committees, which are controlled by politicians, that's an entirely different story. These are the politicians writing this, not experts in these fields who were employed by certain agencies. So, I guess you think that I could cite all these different House committee reports from when the Democrats controlled the House of Representatives, yeah? So when they, talk about Donald Trump in this way or that way, you're going to accept it, yeah? Because it has .gov.
Well, yeah. I mean, no. You're basically telling me right now not to trust the .gov websites. That's basically what you're telling me right now. That is exactly what you're telling me right now.
That's the conclusion that someone who's not smart would make.
I'm right, man. Yes. You guys tell us to look up these .gov and .org and whatever it is, but now all of a sudden it's not. Correct, or it's not. I'm sorry.
This is the This would be the conclusion of somebody who doesn't know their left from their right.
Why don't you take it took me 5 seconds to look it up. Why don't you look it up on your laptop and then get back to me?
I'm telling you that I'm happy to look it up, but it's not going to change anything. So what would you like me to look up?
Look up Kamala Harris White House, or look up whitehouse.gov Kamala Harris borders are. There we go.
Oh, wow. The only thing that comes up is the House Homeland Security Committee that you brought up, which was controlled by Republicans.
Okay, the
chairman of that committee was Representative Mark Green, a Republican from Tennessee, who wrote this.
In June or July, it was definitely on whitehouse.gov. I don't remember.
Yeah, so even in July of 2021, the fact sheet from the whitehouse.gov says strategy to address the root causes of migration in Central America. Not once does it say borders are. I'm reading it right now. So you're wrong.
Can you hear me? I was trying to look it up.
I can't hear you when you go off the app. You have to be here for me to hear you.
All right. But yeah, it was definitely on whitehouse.gov.
Okay. So you can keep saying that. You can keep saying that over and over again. It was not. This was not.
Okay. Well, I'm going to send you, if I can. I mean, I would love to send you.
I'll pass.
As soon as I find it, I would love to send you the screenshot that I have on my phone. I don't know if you'll ever get it.
Yeah. I don't care. Where'd you get the screenshot?
You get a lot of messages and your DMs or whatever, but it was definitely.
Where'd you get the screenshot though? Where'd you get it from?
From whitehouse.gov.
I can guarantee you didn't.
I 100% did.
then, I think you have to verify your screenshot first, my man, because this was never been on whitehouse.gov. You've just been like sold. It's so frustrating having these conversations because this is like a lie that was created and crafted
it's
by
frustrating
Republicans.
for me that you can't see that that's the truth. I mean, it was definitely on there.
I'm waiting for you to prove it to me. Right? You keep saying that there's a screenshot and that it was on whitehouse.gov. We were just on whitehouse.gov and there was nothing. You can only cite a Republican-led committee of which they referred to her as that, but it doesn't mean that obviously she is that. And like, where in the Constitution does it say that the president can give the vice president an authority over anything, let alone the
Are you willing to keep me? Are you willing to keep me on until I find it, and I will show you here in a minute?
Sure, you can go scroll.
All right,
I'll give you a couple minutes.
Give me a second. Yeah,
Okay.
2 minutes if you don't mind.
Sure. Lane, thanks for the 20 cents. Hello, handsome. I appreciate you, Lane. Appreciate you. Kendra, thanks for the $10. Hi, Harry. I've been a quiet supporter for a couple months, and I love your content. Oh, my God. You're amazing. I'm finally able to support your... Oh, sorry. I completely butchered it. Support financially a bit as well. Your lives kept me entertained after getting laid off, but new job starts Monday. Keep up the great work. Oh, my God, Kendra. Congratulations on the new job. You're doing amazing. Thank you for being a supporter and watching and supporting. It really means a lot. You are amazing. Can we get some congratulations, Kendra, in the chat? Do you find it?
So... it's not on the White House, but Congress.gov, is that a legit thing? Because it's on there. I just looked it up right now.
Perhaps the Congress.gov you're citing is strongly condemning the Biden administration and its borders are.
Okay.
Is that what you're citing? You know, that's just like you can name a bill anything. I don't know why you're laughing. Just,
well,
is that what you're citing?
It's calls Kamala Harris borders are on Congress.gov. So
it's not called that. There's no Kamala. Congress.gov like references like bills and looking up like bills and tracking their.
Right, but it says right on Congress.gov. It talks about Kamala Harris being borders are.
It does not.
So look it up.
If you want to give me.
Look up Congress.gov. Right. Kamala Harris borders are.
I also want to point out that why would Congress.gov, first of all, I mean, obviously there's problems with your source being Congress.gov or something like this, but why would Congress.gov referring to Kamala Harris as the borders are mean that she's the borders are? Because it's an entirely different branch of government.
So what? Should we not trust .gov? Like, I'm confused. Should we not trust .gov websites? You guys tell us when you want us to look something up, you guys tell us to look up .gov websites or .org. And now I'm telling you to look on a .gov website and you're saying I'm wrong. I don't understand.
Anyway.
I do not understand.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I'll explain that in a second. Yeah, I just looked up Congress.gov, Kamala Harris borders are, and the only thing that comes up is strongly condemning the Biden administration and its borders are Kamala Harris, as I just mentioned to you. And again, I'm not saying that you can't trust .govs. I'm saying that .govs from agencies like, DHS, EPA,
so
FBI, SEC, whatever it might be. These are government agencies that are not led by politicians. They're led by experts and professionals, right? It's not political agencies. The DOJ, if you want to say DOJ.gov, great. But you're citing House committees. Hold on. You're citing House committees that are written by political parties. So when you're citing a report that refers to Kamala Harris as the borders are, that is Republicans trying to score political points.
Oh,
right?
okay. So we don't trust .gov.
No.
Okay.
Oh my God.
I'm getting it.
That you're not getting it. You're getting nothing. You're actually literally understanding nothing.
Do you know who Chubby Checker is or no?
No.
Well,
yeah, shit is that.
He wrote a song called "The Twist." Let's do the twist because that's what you guys do every time. Every time you guys don't like what you hear, you guys twist things always.
I'm not twisting anything. I'm trying to explain this to you in a very simple way of like, these are committees in the House of Representatives that are led by politicians, right? These are not official reports published by the federal government. right? And all the things that these committees write are always going to have a .gov, but it doesn't inherently mean that the information is valuable or correct. So hypothetically, a committee could write anything and it has .gov after it. They could write that whatever your name is a terrible person. They committed so many crimes. It would have a .gov after it. But you'd say like, well, okay, is there any evidence to back that up? And if there's no evidence to back it up, then why would you automatically trust it, right?
So again, we don't trust .gov websites then, right? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? I'm sure a lot of people are confused now.
I think you're literally the only person confused. I don't think there's actually anybody else in here that's confused except you.
Okay, so let's switch up though. Why didn't you?
So wait, just for the record,
go ahead.
.gov websites from agencies are reliable, 100%.
You said that already.
You can trust them.
Said that already.
So then why are you confused? Why do you keep asking me the same question?
Well, because you guys tell us to look up .gov websites to confirm what you guys are saying is true, and now I'm telling you to look up a .gov website, but all of a sudden it's not true for some reason.
Nope, that's not what I said. I mean, am I talking to a brick
that's
wall
what I'm
or something?
saying. I didn't say that that's what you said, but
okay, so then why are you saying it?
because your friends, and I'm sure you have said, oh, go look up this website .gov to look it up for ourselves, and then if for some reason I tell you to look up a .gov website and you're saying it's not true. I just don't understand.
Do you want me to explain it again, or do you?
No, you don't have to explain it, because no matter what I say, you're not.
It's just that you're just wrong. You're wrong. I've tried to explain it to you that these are written by politicians. These reports you just cited are written by politicians. Okay, so unless they're citing by the way, like a report written by a politician is not automatically incorrect because it's written by a politician. But what it's citing here, that article, I've already read it. There's no evidence to back up that she was appointed border czar, because not only did Biden not do that, but there's no constitutional authority for him to do that. And he could just name her border czar, which he didn't, but it doesn't mean that she suddenly has power over the border, right? That's what I'm trying to explain to you. So just have some critical thought.
She was in charge of the border. It's been known for years that she was in charge of the border.
According to you, 2 + 2 = 5, and red is green and blue is purple. The grass is yellow and the sky is turquoise.
So one of the questions I asked you earlier though too, which I asked you like 4 or 5 months ago, was the pact for the future. You say you don't know anything about that?
No, I don't know what this is.
Well, it basically gives the UN. It basically takes our sovereignty away if there's ever any kind of.
Stop right there. Conspiracy theorists, no. We're not doing conspiracy theories.
It's not a conspiracy. It's an actual thing. Yep. Look it up.
Yep. Stop right there. Hold your proceedings. No. Stop right there.
Go ahead.
Stop right there. No, I'm just saying stop. I have no interest in engaging with like New World Order conspiracy.
I'm not going to say anything about it. I'm not going to say anything about it, but you kicked me and shut down your live.
Good.
As soon as I brought that up 4 or 5 months ago, you shut down your live. I don't know what the big deal about
Harry
what I
of the
just
past,
mentioned.
probably because for this exact same reason, because it's a conspiracy theory of like a New World Order.
It's not
Harry
a
of the
conspiracy
past.
theory. Look it up.
Hold on now. I'm patting myself on the back of past Harry. Past Harry was good. Past Harry, good job. Past Harry, good job. Anyway, do you have anything else of substance to say?
Harry?
Past Harry, that's right. Yeah.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Do you have anything else of substance to say regarding politics?
Why are you kicking me when I bring up the pact for the future?
I'm not kicking you. I'm giving you the opportunity to say more things.
You kicked me last time. As soon as I brought this up, you kicked me. And it looks like you're going to kick me again because of it.
I'm not moving
what's
right
the
now.
big deal about that?
I'm not moving right now. I'm not kicking. You're not being kicked.
You know what that does is if there's another pandemic, you know who has control over Americans now? The UN.
That's not true.
It is true.
Nope, it's not.
Kamala Harris and Joe Biden signed us up for the Pact for the Future, which gives the UN the authority to handle.
Okay, so what's the mechanism then? What's the mechanism? I mean, actually, I'm not even going to engage in this. This is just so stupid. If I couldn't even explain to you, if I couldn't even explain to you how Kamala Harris was not the border czar, then there's
Why don't you want to talk about this for real? Why don't you want to talk about this?
For the reasons I just listed. For the reasons I just listed.
Sorry?
That for the reasons I just listed, if I can't simply explain to you just in one go about the difference between a .gov from Congress and a congressional committee versus a .gov for like the DOJ or the FBI, the EPA, whatever, then there's absolutely no chance in hell that I'm going to be able to explain to you the role of the UN and how there's no mechanism for the UN to have control over everybody. Like, just out of curiosity, just level me for a second. Just think about this critically. No, just think about this critically. Just think about this critically. How would let's just say the United States was like, Joe Biden's like, yeah, let's sign up for this. How would the UN enforce control over the United States?
Look up. Okay, so
no. What's the enforcement mechanism?
There's a hearing on it. The Republicans hold on YouTube. Look up. Republicans hold a hearing on the Pact for the Future. It's like a 30-minute video on YouTube, and it'll give you all the information you need.
So, just what's the enforcement mechanism from the UN?
What do you mean the enforcement?
So, like, how you're saying that the UN suddenly has control over the United States? What's the enforcement mechanism? How do they actually enforce that?
Well, I mean, if there's a pandemic or any kind of military action or attack or whatever you want to call it, the UN is going to have authority on how to handle the situation.
How would they enforce that?
I have no idea. Kamala and Biden signed us up for it, though.
So, that's exactly right.
You can look it up for yourself.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
Since you don't know about it, look it up. For real. You gotta look it up, dude. You know the meaning of the meaning. Wait.
You know the rules, and so do I. I've still commitments.
Have you stopped talking yet? Okay, cool, awesome. That worked. It was really effective. Yeah, so this is not a thing. If you don't even know what the enforcement mechanism of this alleged agreement is, you probably shouldn't be speaking about it. You know why? You know why you don't know the enforcement mechanism? Because it doesn't exist. This is not a thing. The UN has no jurisdiction of the United States when there's a pandemic or there's global war. They can't suddenly control us. What authority would they have? How on earth do you even think that this is a possibility that somehow magically the UN, which by the way the United States is involuntarily, would just be able to enforce and take over the country? My God, help us all.
Harry, all you got to do is look it up, man. For real.
You know why? We looked this up before. We looked this up before.
No, you didn't look it up. You kicked me as soon as I brought it up.
Yes, we did.
And I remember I asked you. I said, "Are you on board with Kamala and Biden signing us up for that pact for the future?" And you said yes. But all of a sudden now you don't know what it is. That's exactly what you said.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm just. This is just simply conspiracy crap. There is,
people.
Like, I don't know how to explain this better to you than like. Just be quiet. Just be quiet for a second. I don't know how to explain it better to you than like. There is no enforcement mechanism for this to even take place. So even if Joe Biden said, "Yeah, tomorrow we're going to sign this big agreement with this magical agency that somehow takes power over the United States," there's no authority for one, Joe Biden to do that, or two, this agency to have control over the United States. That's not a thing. You're just like, you are part of this faction of people in the United States, which are like far right lunatics who want to be scared of something. You just have to be scared of something in order. You're scaring yourself. You're freaking yourself out. This is not a thing.
Do other nations have, does the UN have authority?
Please, no, actually, I'm actually not answering your questions on this. Please prove to me what part of this leads to global control. You did not
answer last time either. You didn't answer last time.
We just had this whole dialogue about how this is utter nonsense.
Look it up, man.
And I'm asking you a simple question. Just listen.
Harry.
Just listen for a second.
Okay.
You prove to me that this is the case.
Then what's the case?
The burden of proof is on you, right? You're making the claim. So I'm asking you to prove to me that this pact for the future allows the United States, allows the UN to control the United States.
Please, anybody in the chat, please look it up and
don't reference the chat. Do it yourself.
I'm on my phone, man. I can't look it up right now, Harry. I'm on my phone.
You were literally just doing it a second ago with the borders are thing.
Okay, so you're not going to kick me if I look it up?
Nope.
I'll give you the
exact. If it drops you, you can come back.
Okay. Well, let me look it up real quick. I'll get back to you. Give me 1 or 2 minutes. Can you still hear?
No, I can't hear you when you go off the app. And this is so painful to I'll bring back Rick Astley. Don't think I won't. Don't think I won't, man.
Okay, it says Republican. Hold on. It says we cannot let this go. This is the caption on YouTube.
No. I'm not asking. Hold on. Can you please stop citing politicians who have an incentive to say certain things? So the Republicans have an incentive to scare people like you. Can you cite me like an actual report from this pact or anything like that, please?
All right. I'll I don't know if
By the way, I have a
Google.
fact check in
I don't
front
know
of me.
if I can trust Google, but I'm going to Google it real quick.
You don't trust Google, of course. No, you don't trust Google, but the Pact for the Future is definitely controlling the world for sure. I already have a fact check in front of me on this. If you know when you're done doing your thing, I can read it to you. So when you're ready to get debunked on this, we can talk. We can talk. Yo, can we get some W's for Grace in the chat for the $100 on Venmo? Are you kidding me, Grace? Please give her some W's in the chat. I appreciate you standing up for minorities and vulnerable communities as a young black woman. It means so much. Can you please show some love for the wonderful, the talented, the amazing Grace in the chat? $100 on Venmo? Are you kidding me? W Grace, man.
Google
W Grace. Hold on. You be quiet. Give some W's for Grace in the chat. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for being here. You're amazing. W Grace. WWWWW. 100 W's for Grace. And Carla, thanks for the $5 as an undocumented. Thank you. Carla, I appreciate the $5. Thank you for being here and I appreciate your support. And Heather, thanks for the $25. Your great TikTok lives and positive messages throughout the year. Heather, you're amazing. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. You're awesome. And Lainey, thanks for the $1. I can't stop thinking about you. You know, Lainey, I can't stop thinking about how goddamn unintelligent this conversation is.
Oh, anyway, wait. Hold on. Thank you, DJT, for the $1 million. Thank you. I'm just kidding. No, but look up Google Pact for the Future. You're going to find out so many websites that talk about.
Yeah, I have a fact check in front of me. I have a fact check
that we did sign up for it. What are you talking about? Google just showed me that we did sign up.
Wait. Hold on. This is not, I'm not disputing that this is something the United States entered into. What I'm disputing is that this agreement that you're citing has control over the United States and like no.
Oh my God, you just disputed it 5 minutes ago. You said it was misinformation.
How are you just on a different plane right now? You're in a different universe of like understanding things. And that universe is one that's very unintelligent. Just listen to me very carefully and I'll explain this to you, right?
No, I don't need you to explain.
This cooperation that you're referencing, I'm not disputing that the United States has engaged with it, but you're arguing that this pact gives the UN the authority to control the United States in certain aspects, like if there's pandemic or war or things like that they suddenly have jurisdiction. That is not true. It's not true. I have a fact check. The UN you're saying has jurisdiction. I have a fact check in front of me on this that I've been waiting to present to you that says all of what you're saying is incorrect, that this has been fact checked for years now. Years.
What do you mean years? We just signed up for it in the summer.
Listen.
We just signed up for it.
It was introduced in 2021. Introduced in 2021.
We just signed it in like June or July. We just signed up for it.
It was introduced in 2021. And thus conspiracies have been made about it since then.
Oh, okay. I get it now. I get it.
Do you understand? Okay, good. So part of this fact check talks about
June or July. But
so part of this
wow.
Part of this what are you saying wow about?
Oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna kick myself because it's not worth talking to you.
All right, I'm still gonna read you're running now. Okay, I'm still gonna read the fact check out to people.
No,
that's quote. This is from Paul.
We just
can you be quiet?
I
promise, just be quiet for 5 seconds, please.
Wow.
Paul Stairs and Natalie. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, I'm also enjoying this, but I'm not enjoying this from a perspective of like, oh, this is such a great conversation. I'm enjoying this from the perspective of like, oh yeah, another MAGA middle-aged man is embarrassing themselves on my live, and that's always fun. Anyway, this is a fact check from Paul Stairs and Natalie Kalkawa, the director and program coordinator of the Council on Foreign Relations Center for Preventive Actions, said the General Assembly PACs are not laws, and that the body cannot impose penalties for spreading misinformation or refusing vaccination, in specific reference to what you were saying in terms of pandemic. Quote, they are an effort to shape global norms and urge international action. The provisions of the pact for the future will not be legally binding or enforceable in the United States or elsewhere. Thus, why I was asking you earlier what the enforcement mechanism for such a pact would be, you don't know because it's not enforceable. There is no control or sovereignty being taken from the United States. It's so easy to understand this. It's so easy to understand this. These pacts that are like agreed upon by the United States from the UN and other agencies like that, or like NATO, for example, are for cooperation or for global cooperation. So we can all work together, right? But it's not enforceable. The UN has no enforcement mechanism to say, oh, the United States must do this. Do you understand?
No.
You don't understand.
You obviously haven't. You obviously haven't done enough research because I did.
I just read something to you.
Do
you not understand UN pacts? Do you not understand how the United Nations even works? I mean, this is so painful.
It is painful that you're not getting it, and you're not. You
okay? All right. Prove me wrong then. Prove me wrong on anything I just said.
With you not knowing anything about the pact for the future, but all of a sudden you know everything I just said.
Prove me wrong on anything I just said. Thank you, love.
Well,
appreciate
can I just say this? That we started this conversation, you knew nothing about it, but all of a sudden now you know.
Wait, you were just talking. Wait, hold on. You just debunked yourself because you were talking about how earlier in a different conversation we talked about this. So, by the way, you're not the first person to bring up conspiracy theories about this. That's why there's an entire fact check on it. You're not unique, I promise. So we've heard these conspiracy theories before on here, but I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. Wait. I'm waiting for you to debunk anything I've just said. So please debunk anything I just said.
Go ahead and repeat yourself then.
Oh my God. So I'll read the quote from them, right? There are efforts to shape global norms and urge international action. The provisions of the Pact for the Future will not be legally binding or enforceable in the United States or elsewhere.
What source is that?
This is from a fact check called False Claims About Aspirational UN Pact Spread Online. It was published October 2nd, 2024, factcheck.afp.com. It's a fact-checking website.
Oh, so I should trust a .com and not a .gov?
Are you citing me at .gov right now?
No, I cited you at .gov earlier.
And the .gov was from a House committee controlled by Republicans? Right. So we've already been over this. We're not reciting and going over why
and a .com is just a .com that I could actually make.
And all of this information is sourced. So if you would just read the fact check I presented to you, I read you the headline. You can look this up for yourself. You can see that everything here is sourced. There's hyperlinks for every single thing that they're mentioning.
Harry, you know that any fact check website is just.
Okay, so if you think that 2 + 2 = 5, you think that the sky is red and the grass is yellow. It's like there's no convincing you of anything. You're so stuck in your ways and convinced that you're automatically right, and you're like, no,
you're gonna be like, oh my god,
no, just stop talking. I just stop talking. You're so stuck in your ways and convinced of your conspiracy theories that literally nothing's going to convince you. I have a plethora of sources, experts in this field talking about how UN pacts are not legally binding and that there's no enforcement mechanism. You don't care. You just like continue to parrot the same talking points of, oh, well, you know, a Republican in the House of Representatives said this, so it must be the case, right? I don't know what to tell you, man. You know, if you want to, we can talk about we can talk about stuff, but if you can't even engage with like sources I'm providing you, then it's hopeless. It's hopeless. I'm going to wait till they figure out how to unmute because I don't want to talk to him anymore. I really don't want to. Olive, thanks for the $1. Please bring up Jayden. Is Jayden here?
So
I don't know if he's here. Ariel, thanks for the 98 cents. Funny how ours will refer to home and as the incoming borders are. Pretty sure he's not the incoming VP. Yeah, right. Caroline, thanks for the $10 as well. On 3/24/21, you can see the transcription, whitehouse.gov, of Biden appointing Harris to find root causes. No czar mentioned. Exactly, Caroline. Exactly. 100%. Rebecca, thanks for the $13. I don't know what I can do, Rebecca. I don't know how much effort I can put into that. Brian, thanks for the $1 as well. This is torture. You're the best, Harry. Brian, I appreciate you being this. I mean, this guy is not a Scooby as to what he's talking about. Russell, thanks for the $1 because I just love you. Russell, I appreciate you. And Elaine, thanks for the 10 cents as well. I do. Yes. Tanya, thanks for the $1. This guy made my ears. I can't say that on TikTok Live, but I appreciate you. Jennifer, thanks for the $10. Prove me wrong. DC in my future. These inscriptions might be lame for a bracelet, but I'm waiting on you for something meaningful. Stop forgetting. LOL. Side note. This dominant Harry tonight is fun. Well, I'm just sick of people like this. You know what I mean? This guy's not a Scooby, but yes, I totally agree. Jill, thanks for the $5 as well. Keep on Rick rolling. XOXO. Thanks for educating the masses. Love to help you. Have any questions about education law? Signed, an assistant superintendent. Assistant superintendent. We love our teachers. You're amazing. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Kelly, thanks for the $2 on TikTok. I appreciate you. Brenna, thanks for the $5. Earlier on Dean's Live, a Maga said a triangle has two corners. Oh my fucking God. It doesn't surprise me, Brenna. Jennifer, thanks for the $5. Someone should have fed, showered, and tucked Volk's belts into bed hours ago. I guess it's his username. Others crazy give us headaches. Thanks for taking the hit. I agree. Natalie, thanks for the $25 as well. I wish I had the patience like you when talking to ignorant people. Here's some coin to go off and let off some steam. I appreciate you. I mean, thank you so much, Natalie. It helps. It makes it worthwhile. This guy's crazy. All right, now you can unmute now. Now I permit it.
What is up, Harry? How are you?
What's up, Jay?
I'm counting sheep right now, by the way.
That's fantastic. You're hilarious. So about this document that you're referencing here from the UN, where exactly does it say what you claim it does? Because I have the document. It's about 64 pages long. And if you keyword search it, at no point does the term pandemic or vaccination or COVID or lockdown or anything to that extent occur in this.
So you read it? You read all 64 pages within the past 10 minutes?
This wasn't the past 2 minutes. I've had this since September. But if you can point to me where it says this.
But Harry said it was false and it didn't exist. It pretty much.
Well, what you claimed is in it does not exist. That much is true.
Oh, it doesn't exist.
Okay, so where? That's all I've asked.
Well, I don't have the documents in front of me right now.
Could you pull it up so we can be on the same page here?
No, because I'm going to...
Why not?
Because then I got to get off the live, pretty much.
You've done that already. That's fine, but I want to get to the same page as you. Surely, I mean, if you want to be vindicated in front of some 4,000 people here and prove yourself right in front of Harry Sisson and Jayden LeBron, then you have the opportunity to do so. Let's get on the same page.
Jayden LeBrick, what did you say your name was?
LeBron. But you have the opportunity to do that now.
Just go to YouTube and
I don't need to go on YouTube. I have the document right here.
You can see top Republicans with the document in their hand reading the document.
It doesn't mean that they read it or that they're reading the document. Also that they're top Republicans. Where does it say that it gives the UN jurisdiction to govern the United States during a pandemic?
To govern?
Yes, that would be governing.
Well, I guess in a way, but yeah, it gives them authority to handle the pandemic or any kind of military attack or anything like that, for sure.
A military attack? The UN does not do that.
Let me ask you this. Does the UN have authority over other countries when it comes to a pandemic or any kind of...
No. No, individual countries
other countries
do.
At all?
No.
Okay, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I know I've seen the UN.
Why would you make that inference?
I know I've seen the UN handle...
Painful.
Look it up.
I already have. It doesn't.
You have not read it. Come on.
What, the document or what you're claiming?
Harry didn't even know what it was before I got on.
It's only 64 pages.
You just talked about how earlier we discussed this at a different time.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You were just saying at the beginning of this conversation how we discussed this at a separate time.
We did.
And I told you that you are not unique in your conspiracy theories. You
acted like
you're not special. You're not a genius that discovered something that's been hidden from everybody else. This is a conspiracy theory that's been online for a long time.
You acted like you didn't know anything about it though when I first started talking to you about it.
Yeah, I saw his pin video. He says something like, let's read his pin video, actually. It's really...
Yeah, I did. You shut me down when I brought it up last time, and you didn't want to talk about it tonight. Are we sorry, I mean, what have we been doing for the past, 20 minutes? What's the date on that video that I posted?
What have we been doing for the past
1st.
20 minutes?
I'm sorry? October 1st, you said?
Yes.
Okay, so it was October 1st. As soon as I brought it up, Harry does what he always does, puts his hands on his face like he doesn't want to talk about it, and that's exactly
All
what he
right.
did.
Why can't you just extend me the grace of going to the same page that I'm on and showing me where I'm wrong and you're right?
Well, I don't have it in front of me, like I said right now.
I know. I'm asking why can't you do that now?
Go.
What is hindering you from doing it now?
Hey,
So
hey,
you want me
buddy,
to go-
buddy.
you want me to go
No, no,
through
no, no, no. Be
64
quiet. Be
pages?
quiet. Be quiet. Be
No,
quiet.
just
be
the
quiet. 'Cause
page that has what you said.
Earlier in the live, you were pulling up Republican-led House committees as evidence of Kamala Harris being the border czar. So do us a favor and go pull
No,
up the
it was
document that proves that you're
whitehouse.gov.
right. If it's right there and you're so
100%
correct,
.gov.
you should be able to debunk us. Now go. You were doing it earlier. You can do it again. Stop complaining and go. And by the way, if you
It
get
was
removed from the live, I'll bring you back up.
Harry.
Hey,
was
listen,
whitehouse.gov.
Listen.
Okay, you know what? You know what?
Wait, wait,
I'm
wait.
gonna-
No,
I'm gonna come
so,
back
I'm so
up.
fucking sick of you. You literally didn't cite whitehouse.gov, by the way. You didn't cite whitehouse.gov once in any of this. Now, go find it. Go find it. Stop complaining and go find it. That you're right about this whole Pack for the Future thing, right? Go do it. You were doing it earlier. Stop complaining and go do it now. And if you get removed from the live, I'll bring you back. Yeah? Great. Swipe up and go find it. Stop sitting there. What are you doing? Stop sitting there. Go. Go. Get lost. Get out of here. What do you do?
Kick
What do
me
do
if you
still
want,
doing?
but
Hold on.
No, I don't want to.
Sorry. I'm sorry. You're not going to speak again until you go find it.
all right,
Stop. No. We don't need an introduction of you going to find. No.
I'll find
We don't.
it. I'll come-
We don't need. No. We don't need an introduction
Just
that you're going to
go find it.
Just go do it. Just go do it. Okay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
So how you been?
I've been good, man. How are you?
I've been okay. I saw you were at the White House recently. How was that?
It was beautiful. The White House is always a good time. It's always a good time.
You ever have that sweet White House ice cream?
I've never indulged.
Really?
They might have been
I mean,
there.
you would
I
think
was
Biden
just.
has the good stuff.
You'd hope so, right? You'd hope so. He knows more about the ice cream than us.
Yeah, and you were in a space I saw on Twitter the other night with Laura Loomer. Did you interact with her?
Oh yeah, she's. I was kind of expecting Laura Loomer to be a better debater than she was, but she was horrendous. I mean, it was
I
terrible.
wasn't.
It was
What did you
terrible.
expect?
She came up. The dude from not the Daily Wire, Infowars, Owen Schroyer or something like that, and then Nick Fuentes came in. It was a disaster. I mean, these people have. My God, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about, man. So that was fun. You should do some of those Twitter Spaces sometime. They're not good.
I don't know that I want to. Is the thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I might run into Adrian Dittman,
That's who was hosting the
who
space.
absolutely is not Elon Musk.
No, of course not.
No.
No, not at all. Trish, thanks for the $1 on Cash App. Yeah, we saw the pinned video. Amanda, thank you also for alerting us to that. I appreciate you. And Jay, look, the $1. Kyler, thanks for the $1. Love your content.
of
I
course.
appreciate you, Kyler. Thank you so much. Trish, thanks for the $30 on Cash App. Thanks for doing this every night from SD. Blue dot in a red state. I appreciate you, Trish. Keep working hard. You're doing your thing. Thank you so much for the $30 as well. Gabrielle, tell Simba I love him. You got it. He loves you guys too. Carla, thanks for the $5 as an undocumented migrant living in the USA. Thank you, Carla. I appreciate the $5 so very much. And Adventures, thanks for the $1 as well. Love watching you debate. You're amazing. Notice how this guy still has not found this. Notice, look at this guy.
You there?
Suber in the chat. It took me 2 seconds to find the PDF on the UN website. Well, that's because this alleged conspiracy theory that he's referencing doesn't exist. It's not a thing.
well, it's crazy how
It is absolutely true. Okay, this guy's
crazy
my
how the
favorite
border
supporter.
thing disappeared from whitehouse.gov.
I know, right? It's funny how things that never existed are suddenly gone. But let
What,
me
did
tell
you
you,
fall out of a
okay,
coconut
excuse
tree?
me. No, I didn't. I actually fell from hell. You didn't. I didn't know you could fall up, but I found a way.
Well, there's
But let me
still
tell
things
you,
that need to be
excuse
done that
me,
we haven't
excuse
done
me.
that still need to be done. So
You're
we're gonna
talking
do
to
what
your
needs to be
president
done.
right now. You're talking to your favorite president right now. Don't interrupt me, okay? Listen, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, but whatever it is, it probably doesn't exist, but it sounds
That's
pretty
actually a
cool.
good-
I mean, there's some good stuff in there. Excuse me. There's some great stuff in there, okay?
I'm speaking.
Listen,
I'm speaking.
That's right. It's so true. Listen, you want to talk about pandemics? I'm putting RFK in charge of all this stuff. He's going to fuck up the bird flu coming up. This guy, he downs at least a 6-pack worth of raw milk every morning and eats at least 12 crickets. And I think that's going to be ground zero for this virus right here. If anything, it's going to be absolutely beautiful.
I love how you have a picture to like indicate.
It's true. That's me. That's your president.
I'm just gonna stay on until you guys kick me. That's fine.
I can do this all day, frankly. Okay.
Do you have anything else of substance?
Did you find it?
Oh, I gave you all the substance. That
Wait.
you
Yeah.
needed.
Jaden's
and you're
right.
gonna.
Or, sorry, our president.
You're gonna look up tonight while you're crying in bed.
Did you find the document?
I only cry when I lose lawsuits.
Did you find the evidence?
Brick, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about Harry.
Don't talk about my balls that way.
Did you find the evidence? Did you find the evidence?
He's your boss?
Did you find
That's
the
not
evidence?
what I said.
Hello. Did you find the evidence that you were referencing?
That's actually a pretty good Donald Trump.
Okay, that's great. Did you find the evidence?
They erased the borders are whitehouse.gov. They definitely.
Bro, this is getting desperate.
Oh, that makes total sense. Oh, wow. They
There's
erased
many
it.
people. There's many people in the chat that know I'm right.
How do you know they erased it?
saw too. So.
I mean, this is, of course they did. Because, when you can't find something to back up your argument, it's gone. The big, bad, mean people erased it because, God forbid, this guy, Vox Bolts, finds the information. God forbid he gets to the bottom of it.
Our government never erases anything or makes anything disappear.
I mean, this is,
but like,
embarrassing.
by that logic, couldn't I claim anything and then any evidence that doesn't support what I'm saying has been erased? Like, Vox is the most prolific chicken strangler on this side of the Mississippi. And this was reported on the internet, but it was scraped. So therefore, it must be true. And I'm validated in that, right? Oscar the Grouch, can you answer that?
You guys are funny. Hey, so do you guys know the meaning of liberal? It's open to other people's ideas.
How did we get to this?
Because you guys claim you're liberal, but the actual meaning of liberal is to be open to other people's ideas.
Yeah, I'm not open to bigotry.
I'm not a bigot.
Yeah, being liberal entails critical thought, which Republicans are wholeheartedly against. That's why they want to defund schools and wholeheartedly are against universities and colleges. Which teaches people how to critically think, by the way. Being a liberal doesn't mean that I'm
don't want to let Jewish people and
what?
Yeah, and
what are you going on about now?
Defund the Department of Education. I mean, why not leave it up to the states? I mean, the federal government is kind of
because I don't trust the dirt poor teetotaling states like Mississippi to handle education any more or any better than they already have. Curriculum is already determined by the states. The Department of Education provides funding and it provides protocols so that there's equal access towards all children in America. They don't control.
The funding is still going to be there, whether or not what Donald Trump wants to do is defund.
Right, but why should I trust the dirt poorest, dumb fucking states to somehow reprimand this and create a situation that is better off for their kids than what the government has already given them?
Have you listened to some of the young kids today? They don't even know the capital of their own state.
I know. Most of them are Republican.
They don't know the capital of their own country.
Right.
I mean,
Republicans in Republican states. Republican states have worse educational outcomes, as do blue states. And the same can be said towards health outcomes. The same can be said towards life expectancy.
Red states and blue states ran by the federal government then? I mean...
No, I just told you, none of these things are run by the federal government.
Yes, they are ran by the federal government.
No, they are not. That is not how the Department of Education works.
There's a certain curriculum that the federal government runs, and there's a certain agenda that they want to get across to
There
the
is
kids.
no curriculum that is pushed or funded or audited by the government.
Come on. You guys, just because
that exists on a statewide level.
You make people believe.
Yes, that's why we have statewide school boards. That's why we have localized school boards. This exists on a state level.
Right.
The feds have nothing to do with it.
And the state could decide what wants to be taught in schools, which the people vote
Exactly.
for. So why not? So why not
So
do
like
that?
when
So why not
Florida
do that?
teaches, because it
Instead of
leads
having
to.
one
I'm giving you an.
entity,
I'm giving you an
US
example. Reason why is because for one, they remove a level of objectivity that needs to exist in curriculum, such as Florida suggesting that slaves. Okay, these are African American slaves were merely field hands and acquired some level of skill in doing so. That should not be taught. That is what Texas has opted to teach. I would say that the federal government should have a role in saying that that level of curriculum is not acceptable.
Hey, down there. Can you stop doing that? Can you just stop being annoying for 5 seconds? Is it within your capacity? What are you doing, Jeopardy music while Jayden's trying to explain something to you? I understand the IQs in the single digits, but God, pay attention. The attention span of a goldfish is not a good look. Now you can unmute.
Want to lift you up, never want to let you go.
Bro, are you a child?
Well, you certainly shouldn't be a singer because my God,
exactly
I'd rather
what you guys
listen
do,
to
man.
chalk on a chalkboard.
Harry, you just did the same thing to me like 15
And
minutes
you know what?
ago.
I actually played a real singer. His name is Rick Astley, who makes terrific music. You, on the other hand, should not pursue music. You know, Rick Astley sings that song. Let's keep it that way. We don't need to hear your rendition. Now, do you have anything coherent to say to Jayden?
No, I was talking to you. I wasn't talking to
you
LeBrick
weren't.
over here.
Bro, can you stop with that? Like, that's super immature.
Dude, it's such
You just
peculiar
throw up a bunch
behavior.
of bricks, don't you, Jayden?
Bro, stop talking about my dick. I already told you. Now, if you want to actually engage in what we're talking, excuse me, if you want to talk about bro.
You know what? It's
All
fantastical,
right, this is getting kind of
LeBrick.
cringe.
Very fantastical. They you know how to throw up bricks, but
No, you're not as good as me. Stop.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
change
it's just getting kind of cringy, isn't it? You know, I just
Yeah, kick me because I'm not leaving. You can kick me.
we will continue to have a conversation if you have anything productive to say.
Well, if you want to be actually a little bit more liberal and be open to a conversation, then yeah.
We have been open to a conversation this entire
You have
time.
not.
I just
You
want to
have
point
not.
out that like you have not talked about policy once, right? Our original conversation surrounded Kamala Harris being the border czar. I had to explain to you for 30 minutes how that wasn't
Well,
the
your
case. Then you
caption
claimed
says,
that there was a
"Prove me
global
wrong.
conspiracy
Trump is
involving
terrible."
the UN, and
says
you
nothing
couldn't
about
name any
policy.
policy then. So how about you talk to us about what policy of Donald Trump's you like?
About policy.
How
Just
about,
prove
how
me
about you
wrong.
tell us some policy that you like of Donald Trump's?
Your caption says nothing about policy.
Okay, so I'm
Maybe-
asking you a
maybe you
question.
should
Are
change
you
your-
able to discuss policy or not?
Maybe you should change your caption, Harry.
No. Are you
maybe
able
it
to
should
discuss
say-
policy or not?
maybe it should say, "Let's
and
talk about policy."
If you see the man Donald Trump,
Harry, this is my
and
life.
my position on
This
him
is
is
not
that
how
he's
it goes.
terrible. He is a politician.
Harry,
Politicians
this
have
is my-
policy. It should
Harry,
be inherent
this
to
is-
you and almost intuitive
my
that when you're
life.
talking
This
about
is
a
not how it
politician and you
goes.
say that they're terrible, that you understand that there's a policy aspect to that.
Okay, so
Oh, thank you, Killer. That was perfect timing.
That was nice.
That was really perfect timing, Killer. I can't even hold you.
but you want to talk about the border then, or
What? I thought we were talking about education.
Well, yeah, actually, don't you want to finish? That's a policy. I mean,
well,
don't you
Harry
wanna finish
just
that
asked me
conversation?
if I have anything of substance I want to talk about. So yeah, let's talk about.
Yeah,
the
were
border.
we not talking about education?
He asked me if there was anything else I wanted to talk about.
Why did
Obviously,
you want to
obviously,
finish
I'm
the
not getting
conversation on
across
that?
to you guys about.
Well, you didn't make a point. You started doing the goddamn Jeopardy thing.
I made
So
my
did you
point
wanna
all
talk?
night long.
Yeah, you kept singing.
No, you didn't.
I came back from getting water and you were singing.
So if I didn't make a point, then why am I still on?
I don't know.
Good. You're
just
asking,
keep
basically
me on
asking for me to kick
reason.
you.
I mean, come on. Come
All
on.
right. Listen. Let's neutralize the conversation. Can you tell us something positive about yourself?
Let's talk about the border.
I think that tells you everything.
Yeah, I just had to cut him off. Oh,
Did he get
just got
flagged?
flagged for harassment and bullying again. Are you kidding me?
Oh, poo.
It's annoying.
Charlotte, thank you for the 20. I love that name.
Anna, thanks for the $1. Thanks for trying to educate the masses. We try. Reese, I appreciate you being here. Reese, thanks for the 1 cent. I know you told me to not read out loud. Avery, thanks for the $1. Can you tell people to follow blank on our Instagram? Yeah, let me look into it first. I obviously just don't want to endorse something that I haven't looked at first, but I will definitely give it a look at. Avery, thank you. Rebecca, thanks for the $2. I appreciate you. Desiree, thanks for the $10 as well. Thank you and other guys for advocating for SA and grape victims. Because of you all believing in women like me, I filed a report and my rapist was arrested today. Even though you all don't know me, you helped save me. So much love to all. Can we get some W's for Desiree in the chat? DESRYE. I mean, that's amazing. That's amazing. W Desiree in the chat. I appreciate that so much. And
Thanks,
congratulations.
Desiree.
Congratulations. I hope that I hope it goes well. That's amazing. Thank you for supporting, and congratulations to you. I know that can be incredibly difficult to do. So you're amazing. If you need anything, please feel free to reach out. Seriously, you're amazing. Thank you so much. Wow. Give some W's for her in the chat. Seriously. Elaine, thanks for the 10 cents. My Insta, I got you. Hannah, thanks for the 17 cents. Do you really not think that Adrian is Elon Musk? I think we were being sarcastic just a little bit. Ali, thanks for the $1 as well. I see. Armani, thanks for the $1. Thanks for trying with these people. Your patience is insane. Also, were you at UMich? I know Dean was, but I hadn't. But I wish I'd actually gone to the game. I wasn't at that one. Jennifer, thanks for the $10. Harry, is there a way to watch your debate on X last night? Yeah, it's on the Adrian Littman or whatever his account's name. It's like recorded. Dittman. So what was that? Dittman.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Adrian, so if you go to his Twitter page, it's recorded there. Russell, thanks for the 50 cents. By the way, my account got deleted and I don't know why. Hopefully I get it back. But the first accounts I refollowed was you and Chris. I appreciate that, man. I'm sorry your account got banned. I don't know if I should restart the live because of the flag, but like, I don't know. What do you have any,
it should be fine.
Okay. I'll leave it. I'll leave it for now.
Yeah.
If it gets banned, it gets banned, then whatever, we'll live. All right. If you are MAGA in the chat, let us know. We'll bring you up and you can tell us.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Hold on.
Peter. Hello, it's me, Peter.
Isn't that just a doctored picture of Harry?
No, it's my face, actually.
That's kind of weird. What is the obsession with this guy? I don't get it.
Get the hell out of here. What the?
It's pretty cringe.
I don't even, brother. Y'all need to do something else with your time, man. What's up, man? You vote for Donald Trump?
Yeah, real quick though, I just wanted to comment on I think that you should grow a beard.
No, I don't really think so. It's so much work, and like the growth period is so itchy. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
Really, that guy's AI beard Harry didn't appeal to you?
No, I can't say that it did.
No, creepy images of people stealing people's images usually doesn't appeal to oneself.
No. So is that all you wanted to say, or?
No. We can have a conversation.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
So why did you
Off
go
to
for
a great
Donald
start.
Trump, then? Yeah, fantastic.
I just got out of the shower, so I took a break from you guys. You talked to that last guy for quite a while, but you finished on, because I don't want to like repeat topics because your audience and all that. So.
Well, to be honest, he didn't really speak about much. So, you're not really repeating anything. But before we get into this, by the way, make sure to drop a follow if you haven't already. We do these lives all the time. Also follow Jayden. He does lives, he does debates, he does a bunch of stuff. And as you can see, he's very good at impressions. So you should follow Jayden. And also make sure to keep double tapping the screen. Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and the link in the bio for me. I believe it's the same for Jayden. Am I right in saying that?
That it is. Thank you.
Venmo, Cash App, PayPal, and the link in the bio is for both of us if you want to support the live. All right, now you can say anything. Whatever topic you want to talk about, we can get into it.
So let's talk about immigration if you want, because that's the last guy was kind of hounding you about wanting to start that, but he didn't. So,
well, that guy was a peculiar individual. So
he kept asking you about PAC something.
PAC for the fee. Yeah, just don't even worry about it. All right, so what about immigration?
You talk a lot about pathway to citizenship. Like that's like your that and bipartisan immigration bill are like your two talking points whenever the conversation goes in the direction of immigration. So I just like to press you on when you say pathway to citizenship, Like you say that over and over, like Democrats, you guys say that over and over and over and over. What does the pathway look like? What is the pathway?
Yeah, just basically like expediting the process for people who are, on a pathway to citizenship, or even people who don't have access to a pathway to citizenship right now, kind of opening it up to them. The thinking there is that like Donald Trump's view is, hey, let's deport all these people. My view is, hey, let's give them citizenship. If they're here working and they're giving back to their community and they're a productive member of society and things like that, there makes no sense to deport them. So like giving them legal status, whether it be like green cards, work permits, or even like kind of expediting their citizenship applications, I think is a good thing.
But that's not a pathway to citizenship. They don't actually have to do anything.
What?
Like, okay, let's say you were an illegal border crosser. You've been here 10 years. Do you have to pay back? Do you have to pay back any of the federal income tax that you didn't pay for 10 years?
Undocumented migrants can pay taxes through an ITIN.
Right.
And often, like, undocumented migrants pay, I believe, in 2022 is around over $90 billion in taxes.
Okay. So you're saying undocumented migrants pay federal income taxes?
Yeah, so they can pay through an ITIN, yeah.
Right. So if
you know what an ITIN is?
Meaning they have no documents, how are they paying federal income taxes?
This was just answered through an ITIN.
Then they're not undocumented anymore.
They're still undocumented. They're not legal citizens. They just have an identification status for them to pay taxes through. That's all an ITIN is.
Okay, so like people who get paid cash under the table are not paying federal income taxes.
Yes, they are.
Yep.
Federal income taxes. I'm being very specific, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Which an ITIN would qualify for.
Right. Okay. So cash under the table.
Just how do you think that we have reports on this that in 2022 is over $90 billion in federal taxes? Where do you think that's coming from? Just out of curiosity, for undocumented migrants specifically, where do you think it's coming from?
You probably got it from like Homeland Security or something like that.
Right. It's coming from the federal government. Yes, but I'm not asking you where you think the source came from. I'm asking you where you think the money came from.
Oh, where
if you think that all undocumented migrants are not paying any income tax, zero federal income tax, then where do you think this money is coming from?
I assume that they pay into other...
Like what?
Like Social Security, Medicare deductions, things like that.
And how would they pay into that?
Hold on a second.
Well, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Sorry, can you repeat the name of the program that you were IT what?
ITIN.
Okay.
It's individual taxpayer identification number.
Okay. Who qualifies for ITIN?
Oh, there you are. Mm-hmm.
Who qualifies for one?
Who qualifies for one?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm sorry, I wasn't listening. I apologize.
It's not just given to you.
You asked who qualifies for one?
Who qualifies for one?
Yeah.
Residents or dependents or non-residents. Those without social security numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you did, that's how you pay taxes, right? With your social security number. If you don't have one, you qualify for an ITIN. You go through that. But again, it can be used for undocumented migrants.
Okay. So what about I'll give you the whole bunch that a lot of undocumented migrants pay taxes. I don't think that they pay taxes in the same way I do. If they're working.
If you're paying taxes with like whatever form you're given by your employer, then you're probably paying taxes in a different way because you're using a social security number. So yes, but I don't know how that has any relevance.
I would also argue that they pay more proportionate to the benefits they actually receive.
100%.
I mean, they don't deserve Social Security. They don't deserve Medicare. They're not
Anybody
citizens.
working deserves those benefits.
They're not
But
citizens.
like that doesn't dispute my point. They are paying into those services of which they don't apply for and cannot receive. That is more out of their tax dollars than what they get back.
Those programs are for people who are Americans.
That's great. That doesn't dispute my point. They're still paying more as a relation to how much they actually earn than you do.
Well,
For less.
in my particular case, that's not true because I won't get Social Security.
Why not?
Because I'm a teacher.
A teacher without Social Security? You get a pension?
Yeah, I get a pension. It comes from the state, not the federal government.
Why don't you get a Social Security?
Public school teachers don't get Social Security.
That's not true. My mother's a public school teacher.
Right. I'm telling you that I'm not going to get Social Security.
You're not explaining why.
Because we don't pay into it.
What does that mean?
Okay, so it's my retirement. My
I
retirement
think that's
is
a state thing.
my retirement is my pension. I'm not going to get Social Security. Like, don't tell me that I don't
Which
know.
state are you in?
I live in Illinois.
You live in Illinois? Let's see. Okay, yeah, that's a state issue. There are several states that can opt out.
Opt out of what?
Social Security.
Oh.
Due to the teachers' retirement system.
Yeah, so we don't have, but anyway, that's just a sidebar. But so what do you think when you say like I said, you say pathway to citizenship?
I mean, that was a moot point anyways because you're not paying for that tax.
Do you want to just give people citizenship, or do they have to do something?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they have to go through a typical process, but I think we should speed up that process. So that's kind of, and for undocumented migrants who are here right now, the pathway to citizenship I'm referencing kind of mostly applies to them. It's incredibly difficult, if not impossible, for many of these people to actually get on that path. I mean, you'd have to like go through a multitude of different programs and like go through courts and things like that. For example, if you're going through asylum, you'd have to go to a judge and say like, hey, I need asylum for X, Y, and Z. And then actually be granted that and then go through a different program. It's a whole pain in the ass. I think we should make that system far more efficient and give people citizenship far quicker, especially in this conversation, you know, folks who have been here for quite some time are working, have maybe a family here, they're in school or whatever it might be, for sure.
Okay. Like,
are you opposed to that?
So I mean, generally speaking, the pathway to citizenship, I think that if you're a person who like, I don't treat it the same way that necessarily Trump does when he talks about like just deporting everybody, because one, that's not realistic.
Do you vote for it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So it doesn't really matter how you treat it, right? The person
Right.
who voted
So
for
we
it
can
should be
have
this way.
disagreements with the politicians we vote for, Harry.
Yeah, I mean, you can, but this is a pretty major disagreement, right? A major disagreement that's going to have long-lasting effects on our economy.
Okay, so
it's not just something like, yeah, you know, like, okay, we disagree
So Trump's
here.
position was deport the people. Kamala's position was we should get them all citizenship. Right?
That was not her position, no.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are saying pathway to citizenship, so what is it?
Who is you guys?
You and Harry.
I've never said that.
Okay, then just Harry.
And then just me. Well, do you disagree, Jayden, or are you just... Is that just...
No, I just never physically said that. I'm being cocky.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, we support a pathway to citizenship.
Okay,
I mean,
so you support this Kamala Harris did she support? But she did. Support
yeah, Kamala Harris has spoken about a pathway to citizenship before, but that wasn't at the center of her immigration policy. Her immigration policy was a little bit different. But yeah, I mean, like a pathway to citizenship is a good policy. And like, what's your objection to it? I don't understand.
My objection to it, I'm getting there. So the way I would treat it is like, if you're a person who like had a green card and it just like expired and you just never left and never renewed it, like if you're that kind of person, I tend to be more lenient towards not deporting you. But if you're a person who like coyote van crossed the border, like you should go back.
Yeah, so I think the issue in this conversation here is that you have created a blanket statement of giving everybody who is here without legal representation, simply giving them citizenship. I'm not, and nor is Harry for that. There needs to be a path and a streamlined process of people being brought out of the shadows, given legal counsel, given those resources, given translation, and giving those facilities to process them, as opposed to what exists now, of which people are now currently living in conditions and in areas which they're not able to access that. That's largely what it entails, is giving them those access to legal counsel here. Simply saying that everyone, regardless of legal status, regardless of whether or not they've committed a crime, deserves citizenship has not been our position.
Okay, hold on a second.
Now,
Is
what's
crossing
in
the
your
border
follow
legally-
list?
Crossing the border, illegal border crossing. Is that a crime, yes or no?
Is it a crime? No. It's a civil
Yes, it is.
infraction.
It's a crime.
No, it's not.
That's definitely.
Nor is that subject to deportation.
What?
Nor is that subject to deportation.
I mean, the president can. I mean, Trump is going to deport those people if he like.
Right, they shouldn't be.
Right, but he can do it.
Sure, he can. I don't think that they should be.
Right, that's not what I'm going for here, though. By the way, can I just say something real quick?
What?
So your comment section, like anybody saying like, "Oh, how is this person a teacher?" I went to college for 4 years.
Well, I think they're asking probably about the age of the people you follow. I don't know what the fuck you're doing or who you're following, but that's probably it.
Yeah, so like I went to college for 4 years, student taught, if it was evaluated by my professors, university supervisors, and cooperating teachers, and certified by the state of Illinois. So I did a lot of goddamn work to get where I am. It's like that's incredibly rude.
Do you follow younger women?
Well, look, the internet can be mean, so I don't. You shouldn't. The chat's not nice to everybody. But go ahead, you can answer what Jayden was asking.
Do I follow like underage women? No.
Well, younger women.
What do you mean by that? I mean, I'm 24 years old.
You're 24 and you're a teacher?
You graduated 2 years ago.
Okay. You only have 58 people following you. Let's take a little look.
Anyway, getting back to what we were talking about.
Some of these do look rather young.
I mean, I don't know I genuinely don't know who I'm following.
Why do you follow them?
Follow who? Like, you're going to have to be
The
more
people
specific.
you follow. I mean,
Galaxy, appreciate
I mean, go through your follow list.
Can I do that without leaving the live?
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't think I can. Yeah, so, I mean, that really is incredibly irrelevant.
You can do it.
Okay. How do I?
Yeah, like leave a comment and then tap the face of the comment.
Hold on. Colleen, you're going to lose. She's going to lose.
What's going on there?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I don't even know. I don't even know what if he is or isn't. By the way, I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah,
I don't know. I forgot what we were talking about.
Yeah, I just went through my follow. You're talking about my followers or following?
Following.
Yeah, my following. I'm not following one underage girl, so.
All right.
Fucking morons. Not you.
What were you saying?
Not you, Harry, but not you guys. But anyway,
You can't be so mad at it, man. The internet's not a nice place. We know this.
no, you're right. I mean, I give you a lot of credit for what you do, Harry. Like, you take a lot of crap.
Yeah, it's it is what it is. Just gotta just not care.
Okay, anyway, so we're talking about immigration, right?
Yeah.
Supposedly.
So, what do you like? What's your position on like Barack Obama circa 2008? His like town hall, it's not going to be a free ride. You're going to have to learn English. You're going to pay back taxes. And there was one other thing. Like, how do you feel about that?
I don't think it's necessary for anybody to learn English.
Yeah, I agree. I would disagree with that position. Yeah, I would disagree with that position. And I also don't know if you're like a public school teacher, but there are probably some kids in your school, if you are public school, that might be undocumented.
I'd have access to that information.
I don't know if you would.
No, I do, because I have parent contacts for all of them.
Uh-huh. So how would you know if their parents are undocumented?
I wouldn't know if their parents are undocumented. I would know if they are undocumented.
Yeah, but how would you know that they are undocumented just because you have contacts to their parents?
I would have to go into our gradebook program, and then it gives me a whole rundown of information about the student. Like,
just out of general curiosity, would you phone Border Patrol if you found out one of your students was undocumented?
Would I personally call Border Patrol if I found out one of my students was undocumented?
Sure, just curious.
There would be no point. Border Patrol already knows that information.
Well, you want them out, don't you?
If somebody was deported that was one of my kids, not wouldn't do anything about it.
What? I'm asking, would you initiate that process?
No, I wouldn't.
Why not?
Because that's not my job.
It doesn't have to be.
It definitely does.
But surely if this is in the interest of national security, you want people to go through the legal way. This isn't a straw man. It's just, why don't you see it as incumbent upon yourself to take that extra step if it came to somebody in your own proximity?
I see it incumbent upon the Department of Homeland Security to do the research and deport the relevant people.
If they don't have this person in their system, then wouldn't they be relevant if you gave it to them?
Yeah, so if they're in a public school, they're in the system. That you're setting up.
They don't know whether or not they're documented, though.
Yeah, that's not how it works.
How does it work?
I'm telling you, we know, we have that information all comes out on school report card, at least in my state.
I didn't know that.
You can look at school report card.
I really don't think that's true. I don't think that that makes no sense. But regardless, anyway, you should answer Jayden's question.
Would I physically? I already did. I wouldn't call.
Okay, so you wouldn't call them, but you just vote for people who want them deported.
Sure. I have.
How does that make any? How does that make any difference, though? Why is it different that you do it versus an agent or an agency?
I have absolutely no problem with people who are here illegally being deported. That's the answer to that question.
But why don't you do it yourself?
Because it's not my job.
But it achieves the exact same outcome you want to happen.
Yeah, I mean, just to be clear, you voted for a guy who would call these students criminals, right? And said that their entire family needs to be deported.
Yeah, people who are here illegally do not have a right
would
to
you
remain
treat a kid, if you found out that a kid you were teaching was undocumented, would you treat them any different than a kid that's a citizen?
Definitely not. I would lose my job.
If you could, would you?
No.
Why the pause?
Because I had to think about it.
Why'd you have to think about that?
Because you asked me a question, Harry.
Okay, if you asked me 2 + 2 = what, I'd say 4. I wouldn't say 4, right? It's an easy question. There's no thinking necessary. It just seems like you would treat an undocumented child differently. It seems like you would just treat somebody that you know is undocumented differently, whether it be in the classroom or outside the classroom, than you would a native-born American citizen. That's just peculiar.
So, like I said, me personally, would I go out of my way to talk to, I'm not calling the ICE hotline. That's a complete waste of my time.
All right, I'll word it this way. If ICE visited your school, would you give them that information?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Why would you do that?
That was all. I was just curious.
Well, they wouldn't come to me for that information. They would go to admin for it. But
Yeah, let's just say hypothetically they came to you. Why would you do that?
because that's information that, like, we can't keep ICE out of the school. First of all, like, I had to.
Why would you direct them? Let's just say hypothetically, the decision rested on your shoulders. You could deny ICE. You could say, yeah, I have no information on undocumented children in this school. And they'd say, okay. And they go off when they go to a different place.
Yeah, I'm not lying to a federal government official. No.
You're what?
I'm not lying to a federal government official.
Okay, let's just say that you just don't, if you don't say anything, you don't speak at all. They ask you a question, you're not forced to speak. And then if you don't speak, they just go off and they do their thing. But if you do speak, then you can direct them to kids that are undocumented. What would you choose?
I would comply with the federal agents.
Yeah, you're just like completely biased against undocumented migrants. You have there would be absolutely no reason in the world in that circumstance for you to say, oh yeah. You know, you can go find these children here are their names, here are their information. If you could stay silent and not give them that information, right? There's no reason to. You're just like biased against undocumented.
Yeah, I don't know why that comes as a shock to you, Harry. I'm in favor of deporting illegal aliens.
I'm in favor of deporting you.
I'm a citizen, so good luck with that.
Oh, Strawberry, thanks for the whale diving. Yeah, by the way, like the Trump administration.
so are natural-born citizens here, and Trump wants to get rid of that. So
yeah
but
really, laws don't matter if we're talking about MAGA.
That's not
established precedent doesn't matter anymore.
I mean, okay, cool. You're in favor of deporting me. I don't, but like, I'm not going anywhere.
Well, I mean, if your president wants to do that, then why can't we?
You're going to deport me to my country of origin?
No, just
like
anywhere.
Deport you to the Middle Atlantic.
You're going to throw me in the ocean?
Yeah, I mean, when you have shit like this, when you're like, yeah, like, you know, you would specifically single out undocumented kids just to get them and their families deported. Like, you're just a piece of trash. That's it's not up for debate. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, you do not view these people as humans. You don't view these people as similar to you. They have a different color skin. They have a different color, or they have a different origin.
Harry.
They have different, they have a different background than you do. So you say, yeah, they're less than. Let me direct ICE to go deport these people because that's what you view them as less than. That's objectively true.
So saying that a person who is here legally should be deported to their country of origin is not treating them as subhuman. It's enforcing the law.
You hold on. You were just saying a moment ago that it wasn't your job to do so. So I was giving you the option of either you stay silent or you face no penalty, or direct ICE to the undocumented kids in your class. You would specifically put in more work, which would be directing ICE to do it as opposed to doing nothing, to go find these undocumented kids, right? You just view them as subhuman. That's what it is.
That's such bullshit.
Oh no, it's spot fucking on. You would go out of your way to direct ICE to undocumented children. Don't hit me with that bullshit.
It is
fuck
bullshit.
Out of here.
Why,
fuck out of here.
How is deporting a person like...
You're going out of your way to hurt these people. Do you understand? These kids in your class, they're not doing anything. They're not harming anybody. And please spare me when it comes to a conversation of they're illegal, they broke the law. You voted for a convicted felon. You clearly don't value breaking the law. So be quiet.
Ago.
No, please be quiet. Please be quiet.
You took a picture
voted
with
for
Trump?
a convicted felon. So we know that you don't care very much about the law being broken. So when we take that factor out of it, what's left?
Harry,
you clearly view these people as subhuman.
Harry, wanting somebody deported is not like there's nothing inhumane about deportation. There is nothing inhumane about it.
Really? Because
Nothing
under
at all?
Donald. Really?
Really?
Oh.
So when we talk about people, adults who have lived here their whole lives, being expedited to countries they've never been to, in languages and cultures they've never grown accustomed to, there's nothing dehumanizing about that?
Yeah.
Or
so
problematic or dangerous?
If a person's an illegal border crosser, they have been somewhere else.
That's not true.
Really? So they crossed the border from nowhere.
No, that's not true. Simply saying that these people know where they came from or know the whereabouts and wherewithal as to where they came from is simply not true, especially for children. I'm talking about people who have lived here their whole lives, perhaps came here as babies, or perhaps, as you may call them, anchor babies, now being expedited elsewhere. Trump wants to get rid of those people.
Okay, well, an anchor baby is a citizen, and those people are not going to be
He
deported.
wants to get I just told you he wants to get rid of that.
It doesn't matter what he wants to do. He can't do
So
that.
if he is successful in doing that, would you
he
support
isn't going to
that?
be successful in doing that. You know he's not going to be successful.
Why
in doing
not?
that.
Wait,
Why not?
Because you can't deport a citizen. It's never been done.
Unless he
Wait.
changes the rules towards that.
yeah, I mean, wait, hold on. What if like the Supreme Court, what if the Trump administration sues and it goes all the way up to the Supreme Court and the conservative court, of which Donald Trump has appointed 3 conservative justices, interprets the 14th Amendment just a little bit differently?
Yeah, I have
Just a little bit differently.
You're throwing a lot of what ifs into that scenario, Harry.
Wait, I'm sorry, you don't think that the
It's called a
Trump
hypothetical.
Yeah, it's a hypothetical test logic.
Yeah, no, I don't
but
think
also
the
this is
Supreme
like a
Court is
perfectly.
gonna do that. I'm rejecting
Okay,
the fact
and
that
this-
I'm
I'm not stating a
rejecting that the
fact, I'm
Supreme
not
Court
stating
would
a
do
fact.
that in the first place.
It's a hypothetical,
Right, and I'm telling you that that's not going to happen.
so it's a hypothetical.
Okay,
So-
that's fine. It's a ridiculous hypothetical based on something that will never happen.
How do you know?
Yeah,
it
I
will
mean,
never
he said
happen?
that Roe was settled law.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Roe versus Wade is not a constitutional amendment.
Okay, but it did have precedent towards it. Nobody
had
asked. Nobody made the claim that it was a constitutional amendment, but it was referenced several times to the 5th, through the 9th, and 14th Amendment as to its justification. Same applies towards this.
Right. So in the 14th Amendment, it says, like, people born on the land are natural born citizens. There's no other way to interpret that. If you're talking about originalist jurisprudence, which is the jurisprudence of the justices Trump appointed, in addition to the conservative ones that were already there, that's how they would read it. That's my opinion.
And if they opt not to uphold that precedent, then what?
You're talking about a hypothetical that I've already told you I do not believe will ever happen. I'm not going
It
to answer
doesn't matter if you believe it will happen. Engage in the likelihood, or rather the option that it does. Would you be in support of that, or won't you?
in support of deporting citizens. No. Oh, but then why did you vote for Trump is the next thing that's going to come out of your mouth, right?
No, not at all.
Oh,
The
I'll
better
say it.
question
I
would
mean,
be,
that's
why
what-
is Donald Trump endorsing this measure? If you believe it to be unconstitutional, what does it say about his priorities that he's pushing something so grossly un-American like this?
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
It doesn't matter if it'll happen. Why is he pushing this?
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Well, you know him better than we do. I mean, you voted for him. What reason would there be for him to support this?
You guys spend all your
idea?
time making content about him. I come on here every once.
I did not, man. I do fucking Beavis and Butthead. Okay, that's what my line of work
He's a voice
is.
actor.
But yeah, like, what does it say about his priorities, about your priorities, that even the idea is being entertained by the guy sitting in the office?
Look, we can have disagreements with our politicians. If Trump does that, I would say I don't like it.
Just the fact that he wants to. Why is that enough? Why is that even worth giving him a pass on?
It's worth giving him a pass on because I like the rest of his immigration policy.
Okay. So you're willing to forgive that and excuse the unconstitutional measures that he's pushing otherwise.
Right, because he's not actually going to push it into legislation. It's not going to
It doesn't matter. The fact that he believes it is questionable and problematic enough as it is.
Wait, I also just want to be clear that like Trump and the people he's appointed have said this in interviews, right? Tom Homan, who Donald Trump has appointed to be his border czar, like kind of oversee immigration policy in the White House, has said like, yeah, we're going to deport them all. So if there's undocumented parents and children who were born here that are American citizens now, we're going to deport them all. You have to remove the entire family, not just some of the family. Donald Trump said that in an interview on NBC with Kirsten Welker. So I don't know what planet you're living on of like, oh, they're not even going to try. They're telling us. They're saying we're going to do this.
Yeah, okay.
Does that not concern you?
No, it doesn't.
Why not?
Because it's not going to happen. That's why it doesn't concern me.
The fact that they want to try should concern you. The fact that your students who may not speak English, or at least not speak it well, may be subject to this, regardless of their migration status.
That's not a problem for me. Because
I know it's not, because Republicans lack empathy. You don't care to see children and families ripped apart because it's not you, because they're not white.
It has nothing to do with race, man.
It has everything to do with race.
If somebody's here from Europe illegally...
Because you notice that nobody has this issue with Canadian immigrants?
I do, actually. If somebody crosses the border illegally, I don't care where the hell they're from. I think they should be sent back.
Then why isn't this issue about the northern border?
I mean, Trump is all cap rage tweeted that the northern border is unsecure too, so...
He wants to annex them. I thought he was anti-war.
Yeah. That's not... You can't tell when Trump...
Does it not bother you that out of this guy's mouth in the span of at least 46 or so hours is he wants to invade Canada and Panama and Greenland and deport citizens, and is claiming that the perpetrator from New Orleans was a migrant even though he wasn't? Does that instability not concern you?
I can't say that it's entirely...
Does that gross recklessness and that inclination towards unconstitutional beliefs not frighten you? He can have good policies, that's fine. The worst ones, the unconstitutional ones, should cancel that out.
You guys don't care about constitutionality?
Yes, we do. We care far more than you do.
Can you name one thing that Harris supported that was unconstitutional?
Yeah, student loan forgiveness.
She didn't support that. She didn't run on that.
So she was part of the administration that tried to do it.
Did she implement that?
Her administration implemented it.
Okay, but she's not the administration.
Well, also, just to be clear, the Supreme Court ruled that it was unconstitutional, and thus Kamala Harris was not running on that policy. So, like, the Supreme Court said, yeah, you can't do this, and so she said, okay, I won't do it. Donald Trump is saying, oh, yeah, no, I know this is unconstitutional. I'm going to do it anyway. That's the difference.
Yeah, so...
Can you name anything that Kamala Harris was saying, like, yeah, I know openly is unconstitutional. I'm going to do it anyway?
So their student loan forgiveness got shot down, and then they tried to redo it like with different wording 2 or 3 more times.
Nope, that is not at all what the administration did. Their original their original student loan forgiveness plan that was struck down by the Supreme Court relied on the HEROES Act, which was a law that was passed under Bush Jr. The Supreme Court said that they couldn't do it, that it didn't give the president the ability to do it. So you know what they did? They didn't rely on the HEROES Act anymore.
They tried.
By the way, the president forgives student loan debt through a number of different mechanisms. Donald Trump forgave student loan debt for people, not nearly as much as Joe Biden. Joe Biden's forgiven more student loan debt than any president in American history, but Donald Trump did it as well. So that's what the Supreme Court said, that the HEROES Act specifically is unconstitutional, not that student loan forgiveness is unconstitutional. So can you please name something that Kamala Harris was wanting to do that was unconstitutional?
Right. They tried to do, like, the student loan forgiveness that they tried to do was unconstitutional.
Harris didn't run on that.
Okay. So I don't, are you a civics teacher? What do you teach?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I teach special ed.
Okay. If something has not been deemed unconstitutional or constitutional, there's not a declaration or a decision by any court to say, yeah, this is unconstitutional. So when the Biden administration implemented their student loan forgiveness plan, thank you, Jack and Piper's mom, it was relying on the HEROES Act, which the Supreme Court and no courts had made a determination on as to whether it was constitutional or not. So they tried it, the Supreme Court struck it down, and then the Biden administration said, okay, we won't use the HEROES Act anymore because the Supreme Court said it's unconstitutional. That is different than already having established precedent by the Supreme Court that says, yes, this is the law of the land, and then having somebody openly ignore that law. What Donald Trump is doing is openly ignoring it. What Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were doing, where they signed an executive order, it was struck down, and then they didn't do it anymore.
Tried to do it a different way.
So again, the president can forgive student loans. Donald Trump forgave student loans. The Supreme Court said, or I should say, the Supreme Court did not say that forgiving student loans is unconstitutional. They said that relying on this act to do so and have broad sweeping cancellation of a bunch of loans is unconstitutional.
Okay.
So can you name something that Kamala Harris was saying she openly wanted to do that was unconstitutional?
Well, she has said in the past that she wants to institute
I'm
a
talking,
mandatory...
I'm talking about this campaign.
All right, well, I'm going to say that she is in favor of a mandatory buyback program.
She was not running on a mandatory buyback program.
Okay, so why did she change her mind on that?
I mean, I'm happy to discuss Kamala Harris's evolution on some of these policies. Happy to do so, but I'm still waiting for you to name me something that Kamala Harris was running on in this campaign that was unconstitutional.
There's nothing that I can say to you that you're going to accept, so just move on, Harry.
No, there's nothing that you can come up with. I'm asking, I'm still, you haven't even given an example at all. You haven't said anything. I'm just asking for an example in this campaign where Kamala Harris was running on something that was unconstitutional. She said, I'm going to do it anyway.
Harry, I can't tell you. I can't.
Okay, so right. So please don't lecture us about not caring about the Constitution. We voted for a candidate who we acknowledge cares about the Constitution. You can't come up with any example on the contrary. However, we all of us acknowledge that Donald Trump's policy on this is unconstitutional, and you voted for him anyway. So you are the one here that does not care about the Constitution. Please don't try to lecture us on the Constitution and the law. I mean, this is absurd.
All right. So why do you think, if I can pivot here just for a second, do you think that, so Trump ran on the deportation thing, right? Not something he said he wasn't going to do and now he's going to do it. There's a known quantity on that, right?
Your question?
My question is, why do you think Kamala Harris lost so much Hispanic vote in places like the Rio Grande Valley in Texas?
I think one of the major reasons going into the, as we've seen from the exit polls, was people's financial situations was perceived as not having improved over the previous 4 years. And that included, amongst other groups, Latino Americans. That had largely been the reason as to why people were voting the way that they did. Also, I think there's a factor to be played here in the fact that Biden was a deeply unpopular incumbent, and Harris, in many respects, was tied to him, I think some unfairly so, and was perceived as weak on certain issues because of the attachment to Biden.
So, being his vice president is a pretty good reason to attach her to him.
I know. I didn't argue against that. Can you please stop with the bonbons or whatever you're stuffing in your face?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, man.
Thanks.
So, I'm just...
Anyways, they should have ran an open primary. I think that would have given a better option. If Harris had won, so be it. But I think they should have had a primary system. Harris had something like 107 days.
So
wait, can I actually just ask you a quick question? It's kind of irrelevant from this. Somebody, Aaron, I appreciate the $5 on Venmo. She brings up a really good point. Have you not seen the video of Donald Trump mocking the disabled reporter?
The one from 9 years ago?
When he was running in 2016?
Yeah, I've seen that video.
Okay, so you've seen that video, but you're also a special education teacher?
Right, I vote on policy, not personality.
The policies of which you've conceded were unconstitutional, yes.
I
mean, you've conceded that he at least has some unconstitutional policies.
I don't even think that Donald Trump is a good person.
Oh, he's not.
Yeah, so...
And the policies aren't much better either.
Donald Trump didn't just mock that reporter. He mocked millions of Americans who have disabilities. He mocked all the kids that you teach. And your response is, yeah, I don't vote on that. I don't factor that in. Trump clearly thinks that the people you work with are less than. He mocked them.
Look, Harry, like I said, I look at the platform of both candidates.
No, it's pathetic. I mean, it's what it is, man. I'm sorry. It's pathetic.
I don't care what you think
pathetic.
of me, so it's fine.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I don't really care what you care about or don't care about. I'm telling you that it's pathetic that your response to something like that is, yeah, I just look at the platform. I just look at the platform, even though you acknowledge that this platform is unconstitutional. You have no defense.
Right, the entire platform is unconstitutional here. The entire.
Which of his policies would enrich the lives of your disabled students?
It depends.
That's why I'm asking.
So, like, I think that tax cuts are a good idea.
He wants to raise them.
Kids' parents have more money.
Tariffs raise their taxes.
Right. I'm not talking about tariffs. I'm talking about tax cuts.
Well, we should talk about tariffs. Right. They're kind of outpaced by the rates at which he wants to increase universal tariffs. Taxes are slated to go up very soon based on the expiration of his bracket for lower income people right now under 400K. But my question was, what policies will enrich your disabled students' lives?
Yeah, I don't think that's not. First of all, that's not how I vote.
You said you vote on policy,
yourself.
so
Yeah, it's perfectly reasonable for a person to care about themselves when they're voting.
You don't think about anybody other than yourself, even the people that you work with all the time.
Which one of Trump's policies is going to like directly hurt those people?
Can you answer the question, please?
Like, which one of his policies is going to directly enrich the lives of my specific students?
Sure.
Probably none, because the president doesn't have that kind of. The president doesn't affect most people's daily lives. He just doesn't.
How will he affect yours?
Not much.
Then what do you?
It's.
Never mind.
It's like how is Trump going to directly hurt you?
How would he have affected your life more or in more positive ways than Harris would have?
Because he wants to do the things that I want to do.
But you just said they won't affect you anyways. And if you want to do them, why don't you do it when it comes to deporting students?
Oh my!
You want that to happen. You don't want illegal people here.
Yeah, right.
Why
I want
not
the federal.
take that upon yourself to do it?
Yeah, right.
Why, you lazy bastard? Do it yourself.
Right. Yeah, right. I want the federal government to do it. I don't want to do it myself.
But you don't want that, though. You don't want. You just said that your life is not going to be changed in any quantifiable way. Right.
Not really.
Then why vote at all?
Because I feel like it's my civic duty to do so.
Then why not vote for Harris?
Because I don't like her.
Why not?
Because I don't like her policies.
Which policies?
I don't like the Biden administration. I don't like her. I don't like.
Okay, but there's something that makes you like Trump more, despite his gross and obvious failures as both a person and a president.
Yeah, right. His platform aligns with mine more than hers does. It's really not that complicated.
You won't tell me what those things are.
Okay, like, I agree with his immigration plan more than I agree with hers. I don't want a pathway to citizenship for 10 million people.
Why not?
Because most of them have, well, pretty much all of them have broken the law.
You voted for a felon.
Hey, Harry, you took a picture with the convicted felon like 2 weeks ago.
Okay, but
did
why?
I vote for him? Was he running for president?
You would have. You voted
right.
for
Hold on. Why don't you
was
afford
Hunter
that same
Biden running
grace?
for president?
No.
Okay, so right.
So you have nothing against convicted felons if they're your convicted felons.
Okay, but you do, though. And it's a question as to why you see it as though grouping people who cross the border illegally are somehow worse than the guy that violently essayed a woman, defrauded children's cancer charities, falsified business records, amongst other things.
And by the way, I don't. There are plenty of convicted felons out there who have redeemed themselves and rehabilitated themselves in some capacity. So I don't automatically think that if somebody's a convicted felon, they're automatically a bad person. I wouldn't vote for that person to be president, though. You did. So you keep bringing up that them breaking the law is a major issue for you, but you clearly don't care about that if you voted for somebody who has more felonies than a lot of these people in question. Now you can respond to what Jayden said.
I don't even remember what Jayden said.
I mean, is crossing the border more detrimental to your life than, say, somebody raping someone?
Okay, so if we're going to get into the legality of that, Trump was not convicted in a criminal court of that.
We can talk about his criminal case.
So we're talking about felonies. If we're talking about felonies, that doesn't count.
Okay, then let's talk about the porn star one.
Yeah, the porn star hush money case.
Right. Does that affect you more or less than somebody crossing the border?
That doesn't affect me at all.
Well, how do people crossing the border affect you?
That doesn't affect me much either.
Then, okay, so they cancel each other out. That's my point. Then why engage in this system of which doesn't affect you, has no relative benefit to your life, and only seems to harm others?
Like I said, I feel like voting is a civic duty, and I think everybody should do it. Everybody should look at the candidates.
You could have voted third party.
Yeah, you could have voted. You could have written somebody in. You would have voted.
I'm not gonna vote for somebody who doesn't have a chance of winning.
Why not?
Because there's no point.
Sure they are. That wasn't your stance earlier. It was whether or not they agreed with your policies.
Yeah, now you're adding more things in there.
Okay, so the third-party candidates were Jill Stein and Chase Oliver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, obviously I'm not going to vote for Jill Stein because I'm not going to vote for a Democrat. I'm not going to vote for somebody who's farther left.
She's not a Democrat.
I'm not going to vote for a Democrat, so I'm not going to vote for somebody.
Chase Oliver.
You Chase Oliver? Chase Oliver's pretty far to the left, too.
Not really.
He's not a right-winger.
He's libertarian.
Yeah, he's more like lib-left.
I mean, that's what libertarians are. They're socially progressive, or rather to the left, fiscally conservative. And even still, that's more like a hodgepodge of different things. Like, most of them don't really support trans people either, or migration.
Yeah, so on the political spectrum, I fall more lib-right. Which if you do...
Lib-right?
Yeah, libertarian,
shut the fuck up.
What the... Oh, okay.
You were... Just a moment ago, you were talking about how you want the federal government to do it for you.
Isn't it a matter of personal responsibility that you single-handedly deport these people?
No, it's not. That's ridiculous.
Sure it is. You can't rely on the failing government to do these jobs for you.
It's so ridiculous.
What's ridiculous about that? Take responsibility. If something is affecting you personally, don't rely on the government to remedy that.
So I said that it doesn't really affect.
But apparently it doesn't affect you. So why do you want them to do anything anyways?
Because I have opinions about, like, I don't understand your need to talk about how, like, just because something doesn't affect you doesn't mean you can't have an opinion on it.
But you want action, not opinions.
Right, I have an opinion. So my opinion...
Right, why is it your opinion that this action needs to be done in order to remedy a problem that you can't really identify?
So, if somebody is here illegally, my gut feeling tells me that they should be deported.
Why?
Fucking God.
Because they broke the law.
Okay, so did Trump.
Okay, and Trump is going to be sentenced in, like, what, 4 days?
But why vote for a felon then? If you don't want felons here.
How many times do I have to tell you?
If you don't want people with right. I mean, because it's circular.
Yeah, this argument is circular. I agree with his platform.
It's your argument.
I voted for him. There's nowhere else that this has to go.
Then don't use the breaking of the law as reasons as to why people don't belong here. If you're willing to elevate that as to the position who determines who broke the law and who didn't.
Right. So I think that the laws the person broke matter a little bit too.
But you said they don't affect you. There's no quantifiable harm we can point to. I mean, are any of our lives affected negatively by somebody crossing the border? No. Is there a victim in this case? No. Has harm been done? No.
Okay, so
I mean, speeding is a crime. Should everyone who speeds go to jail? I don't even think most people need to be ticketed for speeding.
I definitely think people who speed should get speeding tickets.
I don't.
Okay, well
I think they're classist.
That's your prerogative.
Yeah.
Speeding tickets are classist. Okay, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so what would you do? So if somebody was going 40 and a 20, like what you wouldn't do anything to that person?
I don't really care, no.
You don't think that's a hazard?
No, I think they had a reason.
To be going 40 and a 20. You're not.
I don't care.
Serious.
I don't care.
You're not fucking serious.
Sure I am. I don't give a shit.
You can't be serious about that.
Why not?
You don't think that somebody driving
Listen,
car,
people have to shit and piss and whatever the fuck else comes out of them. They need to go.
Yeah, I think it's, I mean, you know, again, you voted for somebody who you acknowledge has unconstitutional policy. I feel like that's a much bigger hazard, no?
No, it's really not.
Oh, it is. I mean, somebody that just so flagrantly breaks the law. Yeah, that's definitely a hazard.
It's like, here's one of my big problems with you guys is you don't think that there's any valid reason that somebody would not vote for Kamala Harris.
Yes.
That's not how politics works.
No, there's no valid reason to vote for Mustache Man in World War II. That's politics, right? You would agree? Like if he was reincarnated today, I'd say there's no valid reason to vote for that person. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously that is how politics works in certain circumstances. This is one of those circumstances where there's no reason to vote for Donald Trump. Not a single one.
You don't think that a person's political ideology, like a person who is super conservative person, should vote for the Democrat who aligns with not one of the things that they want the government to do.
Yeah, they should definitely vote for a Democrat in this instance. And what the argument I'd make to somebody who's super conservative and doesn't agree with Kamala Harris on anything is put the Constitution before your political beliefs, which I think everybody should. Put the rule of law before your political beliefs. Put just basic decency before your political beliefs, and put the country before your political beliefs. Donald Trump has, even by your own admission, put forward unconstitutional policy. He's called for the termination of rules and regulations found in the Constitution. He has, tried to overturn an election he didn't win, blatantly in violation of the Constitution and the law. And of course, that's not even discussing all the different indictments that he's had and his terrible, terrible behavior. I mean, it's ridiculous. So I'd say to that person, yeah, just put like the country before your political beliefs.
And it just blows your mind that those people didn't listen to you.
Yes, I think that's mind blowing. Yeah.
It's just mind blowing to you. You can't figure it out.
No, I don't know how anybody would vote for a criminal. I don't know how somebody like you, who, by the way, is just not that bright at this stuff. You just don't know what you're talking about. I don't know how somebody like you would just look at this stuff and say, yeah, I don't care that Donald Trump like hoarded our national secrets at Mar-a-Lago and then ignored the federal government when they were asking him to give it back and like tried to hide them and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't care. I don't care that he showed classified documents to other people. I don't care that he assaults women. I don't care that he falsifies business records with the intention of winning an election. I don't care if he tries to overturn an election he didn't win and trying to get the DOJ to put out fake memos saying that they found voter fraud when they didn't. I don't care if he pressured state legislators to overturn elections in states that Biden won so he could stay in power. I don't care if that's dictatorial or authoritarian or anything like that. I just care because Donald Trump wants to get rid of those undocumented migrants that you even acknowledge don't affect you.
Right. So
yeah. So when I hear that, that's unbelievable to me.
So it's just like, I really hope you double down on this area. I really hope you guys do, because
yes, I double down on not voting for criminals. Yes. Double down. Triple down, quadruple down, I'll a million times down on not voting for people who break the law. I would not vote for people who assault women and are found liable or guilty for doing so. Yes, I double down on that.
Right, that's not what I'm It's not what I'm referring to, Harry. Like,
Okay, then what would you like me to double down on?
What are you talking about?
you're doubling down on like what, like you think that you like. Why do you think that you lost?
Are you asking me? Okay,
You already answered that, Jayden, but I want Harry to tell me why you think you lost.
I agree with what Jayden said.
That's it. It's just because people don't like.
Yeah, I agree. Jayden is 100% right that people were concerned about their wallet, the economy. They felt that inflation was too high, and they wanted to blame somebody for that. So thus, they blamed Vice President Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, even though it wasn't their fault. And they got penalized at the ballot box for that. But
and you don't think their campaign did anything wrong?
I do. Biden should not have run for re-election.
They ran a perfect campaign.
Harris ran a perfect, and in fact, a better campaign than Biden did, I would
Harris
argue.
ran a perfect campaign.
I wouldn't say it's perfect. No, I don't think any campaign was perfect. I'd say she was better. But overall, Biden should not have declared re-election. They should have had an open primary. I mean, what the fuck else was going to happen when you give a candidate with 107 days left of the election everything possible under the sun? It's not going to be easy to get that level of groundwork, that level of resources underway.
I think it's actually pretty refreshing from you that you would actually acknowledge that, because if you go back and look at Harry's content, it's a lot of like you were just hyping the hell out of Biden the whole up until like day before he dropped out.
Yeah, he's a good president. He's a great president.
There's no reason for him to drop out. He's not dropping out.
Yeah, so I was going off of like what Joe Biden was saying publicly, that he's going to be the candidate, unless I was defending the candidate at the time. Like, I don't have like inside information to when I know that Joe Biden is or isn't going to drop out. I got the notification just like when everybody else did. So I don't know what this is. I don't know what this point is. Like, yeah, I support Joe Biden. I don't think this is a secret to anybody.
No, I mean, like, obviously you support Biden, but like from a strategy perspective, do you think like, and James already said that he thought Biden never should have ran for re-election. What do you think?
No, I disagree. I don't think that Joe Biden should have never run for re-election. I think that the polls started to show a different story, and then Joe Biden made the decision that he thought was best for the country and for the party, and then he eventually stepped down. But like, I think that we should reward progress, not tell it to step down. And so when Joe Biden has all of this amazing policy and has like one of the most transformative presidencies that we've seen in modern American history, I don't think we should just say, oh, well, he's old. And I was hoping that we could convince people that Biden has been very good and a lot of things he's done has been great. But people like yourself decided to turn a blind eye and just completely ignore any fact or logic and completely ignore any data on this stuff and just vote emotionally and say, yeah, it's the immigrants. It's the immigrants. It's pathetic.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously you like Biden. Like that's that's your prerogative. Like that's the difference between what you and I are talking about. Is like, I don't support Kamala Harris, but that doesn't mean I don't think that there's legitimate reasons to vote for the candidate I don't like. I understand that people have different priorities. We don't all want the same thing.
Why don't you dislike Trump?
What?
Why don't you dislike Trump as a candidate? He lies to you. He hasn't kept many of his promises, or at least doesn't seem to have any intention of keeping them now.
I think he has an intention of doing the things that he said he was going to do.
He's already backtracked on them. He's promising to fund Ukraine further. Well past his inauguration, he has said that it's not going to be easy to bring the cost of groceries down.
Yeah, so the Ukraine thing, I don't care about Ukraine, but he
sidestepped the debt ceiling.
Like, if I had to put money on it, would I say that Trump is going to he's going to get into office and he's going to decide, yeah, I'm not going to do any of the stuff that I said I was going to do, or I'm not even going to attempt to do the stuff that I said I was going to do.
It's already happening and he's not even in office.
Yeah, I have a feeling that he's going to start deporting people. I have a pretty good feeling about that.
Yeah, every president deports people, but mass deportation, I'd argue, is not possible.
Yeah, it's not possible, not legal.
What's not legal about it?
Mass deportations. How do you go about deporting 11 million people? How do you determine if somebody's undocumented? Like, how are they going to actually get 11 million people and deport them?
Like, are they going to physically get every single one of those people? I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
That's what he said. He said we're going to deport
how do you do
people.
You find the places where the people work.
How do you find the places where they work?
You look for the paper trail. You said that. People.
So Donald Trump was lying?
I'm not saying he's not going to try to get immigration reform done. I don't think it's going to get done.
So Donald Trump was lying. Got it. Okay.
No, he wasn't. That's not how it works. He's not lying in the fact that he's like, okay, now I'm just not going to push this at all. He's going to push it, and it's just not going to pass.
So he's ineffective. Okay.
So he's weak. Yeah, okay.
Right. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Yeah. I would agree he's ineffective, by the way.
Let's see here.
I can
Okay,
personally
pass the
guarantee that
House.
the PRO Act is not federal law.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at like Biden's record of things like the American Rescue Plan, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Deal, the PACT Act, the CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. I mean, all these different things that they got done. Restarting the Cancer Moonshot Program, capping insulin at $35 a month for seniors on Medicare. Now Medicare can negotiate drug prices with private companies. It's a number of things like that are really great. Largest investment in fighting climate change in American history. Starting the first Office of Gun Violence Prevention in the White House.
Yeah, how many of those things? Some of that stuff was bipartisan, by the way, which means you didn't do it without Republicans helping you.
Well, right, exactly. So the point of like the president is being able to work with both sides. So yes, exactly. Biden was able to work with Republicans to get things done that help people. Yes, I totally agree.
So when like the Republican House works with Democrats and passes a government funding bill, you say that that's Democrats bailing Republicans out.
Well, because it was. There were more Democrats that voted for that than not.
Okay, but when Biden uses however many Republican senators to pass his infrastructure bill, that's not Republicans bailing him out.
No, because most of those votes came from Democrats.
And this is also not government funding. This is a bill. It's a law completely separate from funding the government and keeping it open. And it wasn't like the
nobody's
Democratic...
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Nobody's going to credit like the one or two Republicans that actually did the right thing and say that they bailed us out. No, Democrats did this. Democrats passed the infrastructure bill, I think by a hair. I think that was one of the tie votes, if anything.
It's a filibuster vote, so they passed it with 60 votes in the Senate, which means they needed at least 10 Republicans.
Yeah, I'm not going to credit them for that.
That's just hypocritical.
No, because Republicans needed all of the Democrats to pass their funding. We only needed like 9. I think that's a bit antiquated, wouldn't you say? It's a bit disproportionate. When most of them in your party voted against it versus everyone in the Democratic Party supporting it in both of these measures.
Right. So like filibuster legislation in the Senate is a little bit different than House resolution.
I understand that, but in both scenarios, more Republicans voted against them than in favor of them. More Democrats voted for them.
Okay, so
All Democrats voted for
Do you
them.
credit Lyndon Johnson for the Civil Rights Act?
No.
You don't.
No, I credit the activists that fought for that.
Okay, which legislators do you credit for the Civil Rights Act?
The ones that wrote it.
So more Republicans voted for the Civil Rights Act than did Democrats.
And more Republicans back then were progressive. Like, you understand that party
Yes, I
affiliation
understand
and ideation. Okay, so what the fuck point does this make? I would not count on conservatives in America doing the right thing when it comes to civil rights, if that's your question. Those to the left of the spectrum have delivered in this progress in terms of government funding, in terms of the infrastructure bill, in terms of civil rights.
Okay, so other than the, like, you think that people were just mad at Biden and that's why she lost?
How do we get back there? Yeah, that's one of the main reasons.
Because that's what I actually want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the Civil
Okay.
Rights Act. But anyway, so what do you think the Kamala Harris campaign could have done differently to win the election?
Distance herself from Biden on several different metrics or policies. I think it was not a good look that she said nothing would fundamentally change. And while Harry and I would agree that there are some historic decisions and very positive decisions made by the Biden administration, overall perception is that he wasn't the strongest president. And I don't think, and neither of us would say that's a fair criticism, but that's what the public has designated to him. And unfortunately, when Harris goes on and says nothing will change, then people automatically think their financial situation won't change, immigration policy won't change, et cetera, et cetera. Now, that's not true. Very
her
much
immigration
things
policy
would have
would have
very much changed.
Been the same.
Well, her policy was more stringent
Wrong.
than Biden's was.
Yeah,
What was she
totally
gonna
wrong.
Hers was
do?
more conservative.
Oh my god.
What was she going to do more conservatively than Joe Biden?
The bipartisan immigration.
Bipartisan infrastructure bill. Okay, Biden
Nope,
pushed that.
I said I did not say infrastructure.
Or sorry, bipartisan immigration bill.
That's
The
what I
same
said.
one. The same one that Biden pushed.
She was also calling for just generally the campaign that she was running now versus the campaign that Joe Biden was running in 2020 had different positions on immigration. So she was calling for, deporting people who are here illegally, obviously within reason, not mass deportation, like bad people who aren't, following laws and things like that. She was actually calling for this bipartisan immigration bill, which includes funding for a lot more Border Patrol agents, and it even includes funding for parts of the border wall, right?
Okay,
That was
but
not
that's
something that
not
Joe Biden
different
ran
than
on.
Biden.
In terms, we're talking about campaigns that they ran.
Right. I'm not talking. So in 2024, in Biden's State of the Union address, he was pushing that bipartisan immigration bill.
Yes.
So that is not a position change. That is the same.
It is a
policy.
evolution in the Biden-Harris administration. It's an evolution for Harris as well. So her policy on immigration would have dramatically improved the situation overall. Trump has no policy. He has absolutely no policy. His only policy is deport people. See what happens. No reforming of the laws, no adjusting the asylum system, no expansion of immigration courts, nothing like that. None. No policy.
We're definitely gonna do remain in Mexico again.
Oh yeah, that was so effective. Yeah, it was so effective that Donald Trump wasn't even using it by the end of his administration. So good. Great. You can still look at the American Immigration Council that has a graph on that, by the way. I can pull it up if you so choose. But it was wrapped up in legal challenges, wasn't even in use by the Trump administration, and only affected around 70,000 people. Not great.
Right. So
It's pretty embarrassing.
it's better
is.
than making. It's better than, in my opinion, in my view. And by the way, in the view of a majority of Americans who voted with me. By the way.
Not a majority.
A
of voters.
majority didn't vote for Trump.
Sorry, a plurality. Doesn't it's like you guys
difference.
really want to run on that?
What's a difference?
It's a difference.
Words matter.
So, like, the plurality of Americans that voted with me are believe that we should be deporting people.
That also, like, yeah, but I just want to be clear, like, we're not
It's called an
against.
appeal ad populum.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, it's a logical fallacy because, like, if the majority of Americans agreed with something like slavery, you wouldn't say, like, yeah, that's right, just because a majority of people agree. So, first of all, your argument is fallacious in nature. But second of all, we agree with deporting bad people. Like if you're committing crimes, we like Jayden. I think I guess I won't speak for Jayden, but yeah, I'm there. Like deport bad people, no problem. So we're not disagreeing. What we're saying is that Donald Trump has no solution to the problem. So the immigration system has been broken for a very long time. Donald Trump has proposed no solution to fix that problem. So if he just deports everybody, these problems still exist that would leave our immigration system exposed once more if there's another global catastrophe that forces people out of their home nations. But you don't care about that. You don't take that extra critical thinking step to say, like, maybe this whole just mass deportation thing doesn't actually solve any problems and could possibly make it worse.
Yeah, I don't care about solving poverty in Honduras. I don't.
It's not solving poverty, numbnuts. It's not solving poverty in Honduras. By the way, Honduras being wealthier is good for us. I don't know if you have any concept of foreign policy whatsoever, or how the world just works and how countries engage with each other. I don't think you have any concept of this. But like, if Honduras, which is a country that experiences, or we, the United States, experience high immigration from, is wealthier, it de-incentivizes people from leaving that country. So if your whole argument is, I don't like undocumented migrants, that actually does help you. But that's not even the argument we're making here. You just don't understand anything.
Yeah, so we're not going to let those people into the country anymore.
They wouldn't want to come here in the first place, is Harry's point.
Here's the thing.
They wouldn't be, and they weren't.
Here's the thing. Here's what you don't understand. These people are just still going to seek asylum. They're still going to seek asylum, which is legal under international law and American law, which means that they can come in still. And Donald Trump has proposed no reforms to asylum. So you're whole, we're not going to let them in the country anymore? Oh, God love you. God love you have no goddamn idea.
Didn't you make a video like 3 hours ago?
Why are you obsessed with his goddamn videos?
Hey, you're a big fan. I appreciate it.
I do like your content, Harry, and it's a shame that you're such an asshole with people who come up here and want to talk to you.
I'm sorry.
You voted for that. The fuck?
Yeah. Just fuck out of here. And also, like, I'm sorry. I would be nice to you if you were just like at all logically consistent and weren't a bad person. But when you're a special ed teacher and you're like perfectly content with voting for somebody who makes fun of people like the people you work with, I don't like you.
I mean, I don't want you to like me. It's
okay. Good. So I'm glad we're on the same page because I don't like you at all.
so by that logic, you don't have. You're not going to be. By that logic, you're not going to be. You have no reason to be nice to anybody who didn't.
That's
vote
not
for
true.
Kamala
That's not true, because if somebody voted for Donald Trump and they were genuinely unaware of these things, then I can't fault them for being unaware of that, right? I can't just say, oh, well, you didn't know it, which means you're automatically bad. You know it. You know this stuff happened.
So your position is everybody that voted for Trump is either stupid or evil.
Nope, that's not my position either. There are plenty of people out there who don't like politics whatsoever. They don't pay attention to it. They don't care about it at all. They have busy lives. They're working like 40 plus hours a week and they don't get the time to pay attention to politics. I don't think that every Trump voter is stupid. I think that people like you, on the other hand, are genuinely like immoral people, right? If you can look at what Donald Trump does, especially how he talks and speaks about people that are close to you and say, and do it anyway. Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable in that conclusion. Yeah.
So to correct that then. So everybody that voted for Trump is either evil or ignorant.
When did anybody say that? Did you hear anything that he just said?
He's just filling in words to make himself feel better.
So what do you think? You said you said that anybody who voted for Trump.
Okay, repeat what Harry just said.
Repeat what Harry. Okay, so Harry said that people who voted for Trump either.
No, what the fuck? No.
Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you? No.
You weren't even listening. You were listening to respond, and that's it. Like, I get that this is an emotional conversation for Trump supporters, but no, a lot of people tuned out and then caught onto a narrative, say migration or inflation or what have you, and stuck to that and voted for Trump over that. It's not because they knew what he wanted to do. Hell, he still hasn't given out his health care plan. Just that it appealed to them emotionally and not with their minds.
I just think it's funny that, like, you guys... Here, hold on a second.
Aaron, thank you for the $25. I appreciate you. Blair, thanks for the $1. Isabella, thanks for the $1.50. Avery, thank you for the $1. Justin, thanks for the $1 as well. Emily, thanks for the 1 cent. Elena, thanks for the $10. Good night. I appreciate you. Becca, thanks for the $1. Any advice? I don't really know, to be honest.
I do
Don't
want to
be
be
like this
clear
guy.
here. There is a difference between being stupid and being ignorant. And I would argue that there are Trump supporters that are grossly ignorant towards realities when it comes to the economy, when it comes to migration, when it comes to gas prices, et cetera, et cetera. They simply don't know. Being stupid means that they have access to that information and reject it outright. That's the difference. So I would say that these people are largely ignorant. They don't know the results of how tariffs are going to play out for them and how much more they'd be paying. They're ignorant to those facts, but being stupid would be me telling them that and then brushing it off anyways.
Okay, so you guys can. So Bill Maher was just recently, because he's a Democrat.
Oh, yeah, not really. He's an independent.
Voted for Kamala Harris.
He's an independent.
He calls himself a Democrat, so he's a Democrat.
He's not.
I call myself a dragon.
Okay, so you think Liz Cheney is still a Republican?
Yeah.
Yes.
She calls herself a Republican, but she's not supportive of any Republican policy anymore.
Anyway, what's your point about Bill Maher?
Anyway, so he recently said that Democrats keep saying that we just didn't get our message out. And it doesn't occur to you that you did get your message out. People just don't like it.
No, weirdos like you don't like it. When you poll policy that Biden has passed, like infrastructure, like common sense gun reform, like abortion rights, you poll the things that Kamala Harris campaigned on, building 3 million new homes, investing more in manufacturing here, like the Biden Harris administration did with the CHIPS Act. When you poll things like the Affordable Care Act, which they wanted to expand, when you poll things like capping insulin at $35 a month, this is all very popular. What people were angry
And there
about
was a blind
inflation.
survey on this. There was a blind survey that showed that Trump supporters were more likely to support Harris's agenda than Trump's, despite no names being assigned to each policy.
Mm-hmm.
Which study is that?
I'll try to find it for you.
So you
Angela,
think
thanks for the $5 as well. I appreciate you. And Aaron, thanks for the $5 as well.
your message was perfect. You just lost anyway.
No, I don't think anything's perfect. No.
Your message was great, and everybody loves it.
No,
Go
stop
on.
it. Stop trying to starman. No, the message was rushed. The policies were good, better than Trump's. But with the lack of time, with the lack of resources, it was hard to get that kind of messaging.
Okay, so
especially with a billionaire controlling social media and funneling the campaign and the campaign's messages through a PAC that was ultimately being delivered towards members of the electorate. We don't have that on the left. We do not have an Elon Musk equivalent. That's the difference.
Okay, so the Harris
Public
campaign
opinion was
outspent
swayed.
Trump by, I think it was 5 times.
That's campaign spending. There's a difference between campaign spending and PAC spending.
Right,
So as Jayden was
or
talking
social
about,
media spending.
and by the way, there's no number you can put on someone like Elon Musk and all the misinformation he pushed out. There's no number you can put on that.
So you do know that Kamala Harris's campaign had more billionaires supporting it than Trump's did, right? Like that's not
Possibly. I don't know whether that's
it's
true
not
or
an
not.
opinion, that's a fact.
Okay, I don't know whether that's true or not. Possibly, but they didn't have the wealthiest man in the world. Not just the United States, not just like a billionaire. The wealthiest man in the world who controls a major social media platform, which I think has like 500 million users on it. Many of them in the United States. We don't have that.
You have an X account, Harry. Did anything that you post during the election season get censored?
I don't know. No, not that I know of. I don't fucking know. That's not the point I'm making. I'm not claiming I'm censored. I'm not a conservative that cries about my views on social media not being amplified. My point is that when you have the person, the wealthiest man in the world controlling a social media platform, like Elon Musk does, and him, the most followed person on that platform, pushing out misinformation day after day after day, amplifying posts that have misinformation, putting millions of dollars into the campaign to get other people to spread misinformation. Yeah, that's going to have a huge effect. Yes. And by the way, there are studies that suggest that Elon Musk manipulated the algorithm, but
So, like, you don't think, because
whatever you're going to say, the Democrats did not utilize however much money they got into social media and algorithm throttling. Elon Musk did. That's where much of the electorate was online.
yep.
That's how he played them, by funneling stories, by pushing agendas and narratives that they were most likely to receive and regurgitate.
you don't think that Kamala Harris's campaign could have, I don't know, done the whole podcast circuit other than just call her daddy?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Sure.
Like, do you think?
But I do think I think it speaks very poorly on the electorate that we have to kiss the ring of podcast hosts in order to make a sizable impression on the electorate. I think that is that's emblematic of how far gone we have become as a nation in our reach for accurate and credible information.
People like to hear their candidates talk in a
Right, but we shouldn't have to hear it from a guy that fucking fed rats to people on Fear Factor.
Who is that?
Joe Rogan.
I didn't know that. What the? Come
Yes.
on, man. I didn't know that.
like you.
That's crazy.
You don't think that? I mean, like, regardless of like the merits of the individual podcaster, you don't think that having your candidate sit down in an unfiltered, unscripted conversation for 3 hours.
Yeah, I don't think we need to reduce ourselves to the lowest common denominator to do that. I think we need to have full and public discourse. I think there needs to be reform towards the way that news covers candidates, and there needs to be adequate and equal time designated to them.
John, thanks for the $20 on PayPal, saying this man said Liz Cheney didn't support Republican policy when she has the highest conservative score of anyone in the House and voted with Trump more than almost anyone. That's right.
I know, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, exactly. Good
That
point,
was
John.
4
Appreciate
years
it.
ago.
Yeah, I'm just telling you that she obviously votes for conservative policy. This is
Right.
not.
Well, we're talking about our evolution, aren't we?
Yeah, she's still a conservative. Anyway, that's aside from the point.
Like you don't think that you think Kamala Harris's campaign could have done a better job reaching out to young men? Because that's a big part of the reason you lost.
Sure.
Perhaps, yeah.
In what way?
But I also think that we as men, as young men, have to realize what's going on. That a lot of these podcasters, these far-right lunatics like Andrew Tate, are trying to play on your emotions to make you, buy into this false idea that like, oh, women are the problem, or immigrants are the problem, or this group is a problem, and this is the reason why you're not successful, and this is why the reason that when a girl rejected you or something like that. Like, we as men have to stop buying into these shitty ideas that somebody out there is taking from us, and that it's not our fault for our failures and our insecurities. And when people play on them, we just fall for it. We can't do that anymore. And a lot of men, I think, in this country are falling into that trap, and they're blaming women for their fault, their shortcomings, or whoever it might be. It's you have to get over that.
Here's an example. Harry, if you were a football coach, would you run a mean pick six?
Would I run a mean pick six?
There's a point to this.
If I were
Why
a
not just
football
make
coach,
the point instead of
I don't even know what
this
fucking
is.
point. It's not a defense you run. I don't know what fucking point you're trying to make.
Yeah, okay,
I'd run
so
fucking
you guys walked right
mid
into that
blitz,
one.
send six, and then on the occasional play, I'd run a cover four, have two linebackers over the middle, have two flats on the outside.
Right, okay, so you just walked right into that. So Tim Walz,
What does it even mean?
you remember when Tim Walz played Madden with AOC?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he tweeted out,
Oh my god.
AOC can run a mean pick six.
So I'm sorry. This is such
I
a stupid
don't
point.
give a shit. Fucking
Yeah, who the
Vance
fuck
couldn't order
cares?
goddamn donuts.
And by the
cares?
way, that's not him. That's somebody on his account, like on the campaign, tweeted it out. Who the fuck cares?
Right. I'm just saying that like that whole thing, that whole Madden stunt was part of Kamala Harris's campaign's way of trying to reach young men, and it failed because they didn't know what they were doing.
Oh my God. It's so troubling to listen to folks like you, man. It's so troubling.
I just think it's hilarious that you think you ran a great campaign that lost.
No one said that. Just a better campaign than Donald Trump. He had no ground game. He was constantly going off saying fucking stupid ass shit about windmills and Hannibal Lecter every day. And you guys think he's a founding father. The fuck?
You don't get swept in the swing states if you run a great campaign.
He didn't run a good campaign. Donald Trump ran one of the worst campaigns of anything. He gets by people's ignorance, by people's inability to fact check, by people's inability to research, people's inability to actually look up what the candidates stand for and what they're running on. People got complacent, and he won with that complacency.
Yeah,
not that he was good, not that he was gifted, not that he even ran a good or great campaign. He didn't. He ran one of the worst fucking possible campaigns. The fucking she ain't black thing that he said.
Oh.
His constant interviews where he's putting his foot in his mouth. Awful. Every goddamn day this fuck went on stage was another bit of embarrassment that everyone turned a fucking blind eye to. It's like, why do we have to compare Kamala Harris's ability to resonate and her competence to the worst possible fucking person to ever run for president ever? He's said nothing or done nothing that's uniquely smart or intelligent or gifted. That's all. He got by being mediocre, by being talentless and unintelligent, and still somehow or another the burden comes on how come she wasn't better.
Right, so all of that being said, you still lost to the guy.
I know, because people got complacent. That is not a fault of Harris.
So you
it
think
is the fault of an unintelligent and a grossly unintelligent and negligible electorate that would rather get its news from a guy that fucking feeds rats to people in Joe Rogan than actual credible sources. Even if you look at the Rogan interview, he sat there for 3 goddamn hours talking about Abraham Lincoln's depression. What?
Oh my fucking God. Eliza, thanks for the $20 as well. And Mary, thanks for the $3.06. Molly, thank you for the $5. Will, thank you for the $5. Kate, thank you for the $1. Maisie, thanks for the 1 cent. Russell, thanks for the 50 cent. Lena, thank you for the $50. Can we get some W's for Lena in the chat? Longtime supporter as well. Linah. Please give her some love in the chat. I appreciate you so much, Lena. You're amazing. Manuel, thanks for the $10. Talia, thanks for the 35 cents. Sid, thank you for the $3. We're cooked. Thanks for the 1 cent. And Tim, thanks for the $5. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate I'll W all you. Sorry. Continue.
I don't remember what I was saying because I lost my train of
Trump
thought.
ran a terrible fucking campaign.
Yeah,
He got lucky.
So that's a very stupid argument.
No, it's not. He ran one of the worst fucking campaigns I've ever goddamn seen.
He ran a
He had
horrible
terrible
campaign.
debates.
What do you want?
Yes. They're eating the dogs. We got a dog to get rid of drug crime. That's what he said during the first debate.
Oh my fucking God.
The windmills are killing whales, black jobs. I have concepts of a plan.
Like you don't.
Were those not dumb as fuck things?
No, they definitely were. But
Okay, what?
the mark of a good campaign are the election results.
No, that's not
It's
true.
not.
Are you kidding me? Okay, well, what sports do you watch?
Big
You
football,
watch football?
guy.
Yeah, okay, football. Is it possible for somebody to play really shitty in a game but still win?
Yes, because it's a team sport.
Okay. Well, a campaign's also a team sport as well. This is not, Donald Trump himself running the entire operation. It's an entire team. So, like, for example, maybe this will give you some context. The Kansas City Chiefs this season, in the regular season, have not been playing particularly well. Their offense has not been as electric as it has been in previous years. However, they still won. You would not describe the Chiefs in some of these games as playing well or running their offense well, but they still won. That's the exact same logic here. That Donald Trump ran a shitty campaign. His campaign was trash. He had no idea what he was doing. and he won. It doesn't mean his campaign was good.
Right. Okay. So in your football analogy, Harry, if the Chiefs played a bunch of mediocre games, but still won, that means that their opponents played worse.
I mean, you know, the existence of football games where a team wins, but they played worse than the team that lost also happens. There are plenty of games where, there are plenty of games, or maybe this is more of a soccer thing. There are plenty of games where a team deserves to win and that they lose.
Yeah. So how do you deserve to win but lose?
Meaning that like they just played a lot better. Like you would say that, they played their heart outs. They played better. They deserved that game. Not necessarily deserve it as in they lost. So, it doesn't matter. But that they played a lot better than that team, yet they still lost. That happens. Kamala Harris played a lot better than Donald Trump, and she still lost.
That doesn't happen in sports, and it doesn't happen in politics.
It does happen in sports. It happens plenty of times where somebody plays better and they just lose. For example, what happens in a game where somebody plays better and the refs make a bad call? What about with the Saints and that pass interference call all the way back then?
Yeah, so in that game, the you're talking about the 2019 NFC Championship game.
Yes, I'm talking about that.
The blown pass interference call, the game went to overtime, and the Saints got the ball first and breezed through an interception.
Yeah, I'm saying that's an example of some time where a ref can make a bad call, and a team that is in the that is playing worse ends up winning because of a bad call.
Right, but they didn't win because
so this happens all the time.
They didn't win because of a bad call.
No, I'm just giving you an example of like a bad call that can impact a game. I'm not saying that game conclusion is the comparison here. I'm saying that in sports, for example, there can be a bad call from a referee that influences a game that says, oh, this team that is playing a lot worse gets bailed out by the refs and they end up winning because of a bad call. Point is, not to detract from the conversation too much, point is that there are plenty of examples where somebody can play a better game or run a better campaign and still lose.
But like sports don't even operate the same way that politics do. So I wouldn't even say that this is the best comparison. Like sports teams don't win by how many fans are in the audience. Otherwise, that'd be a more apt comparison.
Right.
Fewer people knew Harris. That's the facts. Fewer people had a coherent and concentrated opinion on Harris. And those opinions that did exist largely tied her to Biden. I'd say unfairly so. There were things that she did to distinguish herself, but in the time that she had, simply was not enough. Donald Trump has been in the public spotlight for a decade now in terms of politics. He has that campaign infrastructure. He has those bases. He has the hats and all that other shit you guys eat up. Harris doesn't. There's not that level of fanaticism that exists on the left, and specifically among the vice president of all people. Trump comes with those coattails. He comes with that level of excitement. People remember that. People remember the brand. They remember that zeitgeist that is Trump. Harris doesn't have that. It doesn't even come close.
So you don't think that whole brand that he's built, like that's not a mark of a winning campaign to you?
He lost.
He didn't.
He lost last time.
Right. I'm not talking about
this is the first time he's won the popular vote. No. Republicans have lost 7 elections in a row and got lucky this time around. I'd argue, frankly, that the midterms won't be all that favorable, given the map and the number of retiring senators.
Yeah, we didn't get lucky. We just beat you.
You got lucky.
That's not how it works.
It is. Did Biden get lucky or did he beat Trump?
Yeah, he definitely beat Trump.
Great. Trump got lucky. This was a close election. He got lucky that Biden dropped out. He got lucky that Harris was the candidate. Those are all strokes of luck. Wouldn't be the same scenario if they had a primary. If they had a candidate that actually had time to distinguish themselves, actually have time to get a campaign under the way. And when you run for president for 2 years, which Trump did, you've got an advantage. You've got a head start. 2 years versus 107 days. Like what? Why would you think that it would be that much different?
But if he ran such a horrible campaign, that would be a detriment, not...
I'm telling you, people got complacent and ignorant to how bad his campaign was.
Right, so you think his campaign was bad because you don't like his messaging?
No. It's not a matter of his messaging. It's his organization, it's his plans, it's the way he structured it, his ground game, and the shit that he said on the trail.
The ground
game, terrible.
The ground game, in my opinion,
Musk, as is much of as is the Labor Department that he appointed. We're union busting. We're anti-pension. So I'm not surprised that people who didn't know much about Trump but saw that perhaps things were better for them 4 years ago somehow got into that narrative and voted for him again. Well, hey, look, 666 coins. Nice.
It's just like, I mean, you have obviously admitted that they've done that. The Harris campaign wasn't run perfectly, but it's like you're not going to get anywhere if you just keep saying. Actually,
okay, I think he would have lost. I will say this definitively, and you guys can get on my ass tomorrow.
Interesting point. There's no way to verify that.
Well, we saw how high his approval rating bounced up from that. It was trending underwater. Suddenly he gets shot and there's sympathy across the board for him. That there's a do no wrong when it comes to Donald Trump.
I mean, that went away pretty quickly among...
But it still played a factor. That's why Elon Musk endorsed him so hastily and donated
it was definitely a big part of it. It was definitely a big part of the campaign.
It was a catalyst, I would say, towards changing that electorate. Once you've got Elon Musk on board with you, funneling these ads and funneling these PACs and funneling so much money into the campaign and where people get their news, which is social media now, the perception becomes that Donald Trump is inevitable. Had that not been the case, he would not be president.
Okay, hold on a second. So, do you remember off the top of your head what day Trump was shot?
July 13th. It's funny because I was in the hospital and I was joking to people. There's this fat fuck that just walked by with a bloody ear. It's pretty funny.
Jayden. Oh my God.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, it was that day.
Okay. So, like another key group, talk about Hispanic voters, like Hispanic voters in Texas specifically.
I'm so fucking done with this conversation. Like, we're not rehashing the campaign, man. We're not going through this. We're not going through the data, the demographics, and all this stuff. We lost. We acknowledge we lost. There's things we could do better. She still ran a good campaign, whether you agree with it or not. Done. Finito. Nada.
Okay. Okay.
All right, we'll leave it there.
All right.
All right, thanks for coming on, man.
All right.
Thanks, sir.
Take care.
Goodbye. All right, Jayden, I'm wrapping up the live there. What was that?
You going to call it?
I'm going to call it. I'm going to call it Jules
All right,
Galaxy.
sounds good.
Are you going to
Should
do it
I
live?
go live? Should I? What do you guys think?
People in the chat, let Jayden know if you want him to go live.
Suzanne, thank you for the 25. Terry, thank you for the 5. I have not hosted at all yet this year, so I don't know. Yes.
A lot of people are saying yes. We can
All
give
right,
you a raise.
my
if
hair's
you
a
want.
mess. All right, I'll go live. Thank you very much, Harry, for having me on. Thank you, everybody, for the
Anytime,
Venmo Cash
sir.
App. Suzanne, thank you for the 25. Terry, thank you for the 5. I'll be going live. Thank you. Take care.
Absolutely. Thanks, man. Thanks for coming up. Always a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. Jayden's going live now, everybody. So if you would like to go see some more debates, go over to Jason and say hi. I have some people I got to read out and thank, and then I'll do an outro for you. Everybody, please give a W for Lawrence. I just saw this right now. Thank you for the $50. This was like an hour and 30 minutes ago because I haven't been checking Cash App. Please give a W for Lawrence. Lawrence, I hope you're still here. If you're not, I understand it's been a long time. So, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Did I say Jason? I meant Jayden. I apologize. W. Lawrence in the chat. I appreciate you. Christian, thank you for the 1. Anne, thank you for the 1. Brittany, thank you for the 1. Shayla, thank you for the 1. Andrea, thank you for the 1. Felicia, thanks for the 2. Ash, thanks for the 1. Casey, thanks for the 1. Christian, thanks for the 1. Jaron, thanks for the 1. Jordan, thanks for the $30. That's so interesting. I don't know if that's a. I don't even know. They provided like a phone number and then it says LA Dogs, Cats, Children's Attorney. Oh, maybe it was in relation to him. I don't know. Maybe Jordan's still here. Oh, I see. Maybe they're still here. I don't know what that's in reference to. Anyway, Ari, thanks for the $10 as well. And Lynette, thanks for the $7.77. She says, I put you on my vision board. That's funny. Badger, thanks for the 2. Ivy, thanks for the 6 on PayPal. Ashley, thanks for the 96 cents. Fela, thanks for the 1. Warden, thanks for the 75 cents. Danny, thanks for the $1.91. Cool, thanks for the 1 cent. Tabitha, there, all right, that's better. Tabitha, thanks for the 1 cent. I appreciate you. Layla, thanks for the 5 cents. John, thanks for the $19.40 on PayPal. I appreciate you all so much. I apologize. I'm just getting to these so late. It's hard to do it in the middle of conversations, but I appreciate everybody nonetheless for supporting the live so much. It means the world to me. So thank you for doing all of that. Listen, before you head out, do me a favor, go follow on all the different social media platforms. I post on Instagram, I post on Twitter, I post on YouTube, I post on Snapchat, I post on Blue Sky, Facebook, all of these different social media platforms. It would mean a lot given a possible TikTok ban if you would go over there and support all of those different platforms. It really means the world. So definitely go drop a follow on all of the different ones. But as I mentioned, Jayden's going live. So Mr. Jayden Libran, his username is right there. My user on Snapchat is literally the same as my TikTok username, Harry J. Sisson, but it's in the link in my bio if you want to go check it out. All of them are linked in my bio. Just click it and go follow. And Isaiah R. Martin is live. Dark Pickles is live. But Jayden was live with here. We all like Jayden, so you can go show him some love and let him know. All right, everybody. Thank you all so very much for being here. I appreciate you. It means the world, and we will talk soon. Yeah? All right, everybody. Thank you all so much.